everybody. Welcome to another episode of Chick Chat Ladies. And we're all here today. There's Crystal, Melissa Jane, Ashinator, and me, Robin. And how are we doing today, ladies?
I'm doing
Not
well.
too bad.
I won trivia this week, so I'm like pumped. I've got like $10 to spend on Amazon.
That's cool.
I'm like, I'll put that towards some earphones so I don't have to wear these ridiculous things anymore.
Yeah, did you see my first ones that I ever had when I first did a live? They were big white ones. I looked like an aviator from looked like
We've
a
seen it
pilot.
red, okay.
Yeah, those
And
ones are
these
cool.
have like a fake brand name on them. I'm pretty sure they're fake anyway. I got them off the street in Thailand.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're $10, like the equivalent of like $10. Okay. From like some street vendor. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
And they're meant to be wireless too, but I've never tried them with the Bluetooth. So
Oh, that's cool. You have an option for those. It's
yeah,
always
but
it's always the
I
challenge
bought them
here.
from a street in Thailand. Like I don't trust the Bluetooth. Okay.
You never know. We have to try everything in order to find out what suits us, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Ash, and how are you? And
I'm good. I'm good. Not too much going on, but I'm good.
good. Mel,
I'm trying to be awake.
you're trying to be awake. You're a busy lady. Very busy. That's
It's
cool.
very early here, but I got up even
Yeah.
earlier than early. Okay, so it's
wow.
just gone 6 a.m. here. Okay,
Ooh.
I woke up at 3, and I'm
Oh,
like, if I
wow.
go back to sleep, I'm gonna sleep through. Okay,
Yeah.
so I had to stay awake. So I've been working on my next video.
Oh,
On my
very
channel.
cool.
Yeah. Yes. I finally got a new cable for my phone to connect to my laptop, so I can actually get the footage off my phone onto my laptop because it's been stuck on the phone. I haven't
Oh,
been able to
That
get it off.
helps.
Yeah. I could get all the small clips off,
Yeah.
the longer
It's
videos.
just the bigger
Okay.
ones, yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't even upload it to Google Drive. It just kept failing.
oh
Uh,
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So.
frustrating. I like
Technology.
Hmm.
I like working on my phone too. It's easiest, I think. But the problem with that is it's so small. I can't really,
Hey, Cake.
you know, like. So,
Hey.
so we have
Yeah.
some people in chat already. We have Squad Bob. Hi there. We have Cake,
Hello.
Cake of Death, and
Cake or cake?
Cake or Cake. That's right.
I still
up to date,
I
Robin.
still say cake or that.
Cake. Cake.
I know.
I
It's like
choose
I-
cake.
It's cake.
It's like Ash's other name. Sometimes we slip up. Say that
Yeah.
too.
There's
You remember
a few
that
people
one?
who still call me that.
I was actually okay, completely unrelated, except cake made me think of it. Okay. I was having this conversation with a guy at work who had that weight loss surgery, and he
Oh.
said cake is what makes everyone put the weight back on.
Really?
Okay, the people who have the surgery and then put the weight back on, it's always cake. Okay,
Interesting.
so you said like if you have the surgery, because I was gonna have it last year, but then the work thing went a bit crazy, so I didn't have it. Okay, but if you have, it's like if you have it, just don't eat cake. Anything else should be fine. Like you can eat chocolate, you can eat whatever, just not cake.
Just cake?
You think it's like the carbs or the sugar or both? Or
It's
what's
because
the
it doesn't
cause?
fill you. Okay, and it's like
Ah.
it's sponge, and it just you just keep eating more, and your stomach doesn't know that it's full, kind of thing.
What if you're eating mud cake? That's
It's still
intense.
it's still too spongy. Okay, yeah. So I'm guessing
Ask
donuts would be
Wob
the same.
Bob.
I don't know. There's people here, Squall Bob, that aren't chatting, so you might be the only one in chat, but you're probably not the only one watching.
Not the only guy. All right. Well, today we had decided to discuss some popular movies because there's been some discussions about movies that we haven't seen in the past that are classics and stuff, and also new ones that are coming out that are going to be. Some people find interesting and other people don't. So I think that's an interesting topic for today.
Yeah, I made a little slideshow. Okay, I wanted to find a list, and at first I was just going to do the IMDb list, but everyone does the IMDb list, and it's too long. So I found Rolling Stone magazine did a
Okay.
survey of 35,000 people, and this is the top 25 from that list, from those 35,000 people. And I think 35,000 people is a good sample size.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want me to bring it up?
I just first want to
do you-
say, what like Avatar, the new one coming out, or did come out. I was gonna watch that over the holidays, but I didn't get a chance to. And if you haven't seen it, then what's your opinion on it? Because I'm excited to see it. The first one, I loved it, and I have so many people that tell me that they couldn't stand it. So
Oh, I loved it.
you did too.
I've never seen it.
I haven't seen the second one yet. I've seen the first one.
First one, yeah.
I haven't even
First
seen
one was
the first
good.
Okay, so
I haven't seen the
I'm
second
not
one. I'm a bit nervous because you know how like sometimes sequels don't live up to the original. That's what I'm worried
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, but I loved the first one. I know a lot of people that keep saying that they just, oh my God, Robin, how could you like that? That was a terrible movie. And I'm like, I don't know, I just loved it.
Hey, cool frog.
Hey, cool frog, thanks for
Yeah,
stopping by.
I never even saw the first one, but I do know the attraction at Disneyland in Florida for Avatar is meant to be really good. My sister saw it and she was like, "This is amazing." I just didn't go to the right theme park, so I couldn't see it. Okay.
I've been to Disney World, and that was in Florida, but I believe it was so long ago that they were just building Epcot Center.
Well, I went to Disneyland when I was like 8 years old, so I have like no memories of it at all.
Well, I went when I was 10 and I hated it. I went to Disneyland in Anaheim, absolutely hated it.
Really?
Okay, but then I went back in my last trip to the US, so that was 2018. Okay, and we went to the one in Florida. Okay, and
That's
I
the
liked
one.
that a lot better. But I still prefer Universal over Disney. Okay, because I like the rides and stuff. Okay, like the Universal rides are aimed more at like the thrill seeking and the adrenaline pumping kind of stuff, whereas the Disney rides are like, oh look, there's Cinderella. Let's ride a little cart around Cinderella, you know. Kind of thing.
But Disneyland's like huge though. I can't
Yeah.
actually, you know what? I can remember a couple of rides, but that's about it. I remember the one with like the really like long like crash down.
Yeah, Splash Mountain, maybe. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's the one.
that's
Yeah,
like
I
the
remember that.
one of the only adrenaline things at Disneyland. Okay. I think they're actually ripping that out though. I saw something the other day about a video. I didn't watch the video, but it was a thumbnail on my homepage about last day of Splash Mountain.
Oh.
Okay. Unless it was just this person's last day on their trip and they were going to Splash Mountain. But I
Yeah,
understood it as they're closing the ride. Okay.
There's lots of interpretations on communication sometimes gets messed up. But,
The
hi,
closest thing I've ever been to for Disneyland or whatever was Canada's Wonderland.
Oh my God, I got sick every time I went there. Every damn time.
I've been on every single ride. except
I
for the
love
ones
rides.
We had Australia's Wonderland. I wonder
Yeah,
if it
we
was
had a
similar.
Wonderland. That got ripped down years ago, and now it's all housing.
Yeah. There's a Wet n Wild nearby. Okay. Yeah.
Wet and Wild, that's always fun.
Oh,
Bathing suit, water
I've
parks.
never been. No thank you.
I went to the one on the Gold Coast in Australia, which is near Brisbane. Okay.
Conspiracy music.
I went there when I was a teenager with my boyfriend at the time, and yeah, it was too many kids. I don't like so many kids. Okay. Which is probably why I don't like Disney. Because there's kids everywhere.
Oh, my mic is low.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Squabba Bob is saying that your mic's low.
Okay, we were trying to fix this before we went live, but is that a bit better? I don't want to be
You're
louder.
louder for me, but
Is it too loud now?
not for me. But
No, I
let's
think
see what they say.
yeah, no, I think it sounds even better.
Okay.
Squad Bob,
A bit better.
let us know.
Yes, please. It's the constant challenge for our live streams. Mic volumes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I love rides, but geez, man, it's always a gamble. It's always a gamble when I go. I have to wait I have to make sure I have something in my belly, but not too soon before you go on a ride. And anything that turns around like this, no,
Yeah.
I can't.
No, I love
if it's
that
like
stuff.
if it's a roller coaster, I can handle it. But if it's like one of those, you know, those rides that look like baby seats and it just goes around and around.
Yeah.
You know, you just slide in.
That reminds
slide
me
that
of,
bar down. Ugh,
We used to have this roller coaster at Australia's Wonderland called the Demon. Was it the Demon? Okay, that was the newest roller coaster. They had 3 roller coasters, and 2 were really old, like wooden things,
And
and then they
really
had this.
rickety.
Yeah, they were great because they were so rickety. Okay, that made it scary. Okay, but then they had this newer one, and I think it was called the Demon, and it went like down, and then it did loops, like 3 or 4
Is that
loops.
the really, really fast one?
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
only one where you went upside down. Okay.
Oh, well, the
Okay.
pirate ship did.
Yeah.
pirate ship
Everywhere
went
has a
upside down.
pirate ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
The pirate ship is every theme park. I didn't know that until like I started going to theme parks also.
Yeah.
I love the pirate ship.
I don't know if I even remember the pirate ship. In Wonderland, it was.
It's just it rocks back and forth
Rock
until it
back
builds
and
up
forth,
enough
and then all of a
momentum, and
sudden
then
it
it
goes like that, and then it holds upside down, and then it
Oh, I love that. I love that one.
yeah, and then it holds up, and then it starts to spin.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're not actually spinning. You're just it's like a boat going up like
Yeah,
this,
so it's
right?
like it just like rocks kind of back and forth, and it just goes higher and higher and higher until it hits the point where it can kind of flip up, and it will hold, and then it will like rock back down.
Oh yeah,
it's
I can
kind of
do
like
that.
a
I can do
momentum
that
thing.
one.
Yeah, like a pendulum thing. So it'll like hold up for like a few seconds, so that you're like dangling upside down, and then it'll flip back around.
Yeah.
Squad Bob. Women and pirates. Always the bad. I wonder who you're referring to.
I wonder.
Maybe that trial last year.
Okay.
Oh god, I keep
wonder
forgetting
what
that
the
was already
most-
last year.
Did you hear the update on that? There was something. I don't know. Anyway, she got taken back to court or something. I don't know.
Oh, her.
Insurance company or something.
She's
Insurance
suing the
companies are
company
suing-
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think her insurance company, the insurance companies were like suing each other because she had 2, and then they sued her, and I think she's suing them back.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Are they
And
gonna
she
be
requested
tough?
a jury trial. She requested a jury trial. I remember reading that.
She did
Okay.
again. Wow.
Okay. No, but like it was just like a screenshot, and it said Amber whatever Heard requests a jury trial, and it was like so much for trusting the jurors, the jurors being bad and stuff like that.
Can you imagine what's going to happen to YouTube? Like, people are going to go haywire over this. If they televise it again, it's going to be... But they've also added a lot of more restrictions for us, so I don't know.
I don't know. Like was Amber really the attraction, or was it Johnny?
Oh, let's
Okay,
hope
if it was
Johnny.
if Amber Heard
what-
was married to anyone else, and it was a trial against anyone else, would we have watched it? I wouldn't
Probably
have.
not.
Probably not, but at the same time, now she's been in the news so much that people are probably going to want to see
We're
what
invested.
happens next.
Yeah.
Don't you think? I'd be a little bit curious if I'd probably,
Yeah.
I have to admit, probably peek in.
But now I don't trust the news at all.
No.
Okay,
Oh,
like they're
no.
reporting.
I know. I kind of stopped watching like mainstream media before that, and then after
Yeah.
like seeing the
Same here.
comparisons of what's going on, I was like, oh yeah, no, I
Mhm.
definitely made
Yeah,
the right move.
done.
YouTube is more fun to watch anyways, because you get to
Yeah,
interact.
definitely.
Yeah, but I don't want to sit there for 8 hours a day watching trials again.
Yeah.
Okay. You can only do that once in your life, okay?
I think pretty much the whole world did it once, at least last year. Pretty much.
Unless we go into like a lockdown again, then I can do it.
No thanks. I
I
won't be wishing that on anybody.
know, but that's like the only reason I would have to actually sit
Yeah.
there and
I
watch
see your
something.
point. I see your point.
Oh, what's this? Apparently she pitched herself at Kevin Costner, but he turned it. What?
I heard that too.
I didn't hear that.
Blame 'em.
I heard that too. Before she was married to Johnny, okay, she went into Kevin Costner's caravan thing trailer, okay, at a movie set, naked,
Oh gosh.
okay, and he just said, "Get out."
Are we
Okay.
sure this isn't a rumor though? Has this like been confirmed or something? I
It's
don't know.
probably a rumor because the only 2 people would know would be those 2.
Although, like, hearing stories about her, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
She was trying to find a rich Hollywood male
Well,
A-lister to
suck
marry.
a Johnny
kind of thing.
Depp in.
Yeah.
I love that. Suckered. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, he won, so
Yeah.
Thank
He's back
goodness
to
for
doing
that.
back to doing music and other stuff.
I still wouldn't mind hearing the jury, like what the jury said while they were deliberating. You know,
Be
why
very
they came up with those numbers and stuff like that.
I haven't looked
That
it
would
up
be
in
like-
a while, but they did find a juror at some point that kind of.
Oh, I must really stop following. But
Yeah.
they should make it a movie, like a proper movie, not like a made-for-TV D-list
Yeah.
actor movie, but an actual movie. Yeah. Okay.
Squad
They probably
Pogs.
will. They probably will. Well, it's spelled okay, so I guess we can put it up. Starting a debate already.
I don't see that as being a good move in any situation.
No.
No.
Okay. I guess maybe if you're in like high school, in like, 12th grade or whatever, and you're at a party.
No, it's
maybe.
worse.
Okay.
It's worse than then you're posted on
No.
social media for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking like back when we were young. Okay, like that
yeah.
I could maybe, maybe like if you're a teenager and you're stupid. Okay, but after that, I don't really. No. Okay.
You're a wild one.
Well, I never did it.
I wouldn't do it.
No.
The closest I got was pretending to skinny dip.
Well,
How can you pretend?
I had
You'd
I
be
had
like just bubble
I had a
bath and-
swimsuit that had no straps, so it was sleeve like
Yeah.
what's it called? Like
Oh, like a
No
boot
straps at all.
kind of
Strapless.
thing.
yeah, okay, and I was that was below the waterline. Okay.
Okay, so you
The illusion.
you convinced everybody else to jump in
It's all
naked,
about
and
the
then you're
illusion.
like, ah!
There was this. I remember we were in
Psych.
like we were up in Queensland and we we're at a hotel and we're in the spa, okay, and so you couldn't see under the water because it's all bubbling, and this older lady walked out and she would have been, I don't know, 50, okay, and we just hinted that we were skinny dipping, but we weren't. Okay, and she huffed and she walked away. But if we hadn't done that, she would have got in, and then there goes all the fun. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna add this up.
So here we are with the top 25 movies of all time as voted by 35,000 people.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what you found. Oh, of course, yeah, number 20.
Lord of the Rings.
That's number 25? Wouldn't you think
Yeah,
it'd be a little
that's
bit
the
higher?
Fellowship with the Ring. Is that the first one, or is that?
It has to
I-
be.
I
Must be.
think that's the first one.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them.
Really?
I've seen them all once.
Same here, yeah.
See
I
them
kinda-
all 3 times.
You know, like
Although I have
movies-
wanted to watch it. I have wanted to watch it through again.
Yeah.
you
One
know,
day
like-
I'll watch
I
it.
haven't. I think that was one of the ones that we had listed down for like lockdown. So to watch Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, but
Yeah.
we never got around to it.
I never got around to it myself. Yeah.
I think it's like it's just like music is a mood. Like movies are a mood as well. So whatever you're in the mood to watch for a little while, like, it's kind of like I go through these binge watch things. I'm a total binger when it comes to movies. If I watch one and I'm into it, I'm like, whether it's a western or Lord of the Rings or whatever, it's like I've got to watch it all one after the other while I'm in that
Yeah.
zone, and then. So that's kind of what I did with Lord of the Rings. I didn't watch them as they were coming out. I watched them later on, but all the way
Yeah.
through.
And there's
Well,
an
that's what
order
I
it.
try
You gotta
to
watch
do.
it in order.
You did too, Ash?
Yeah, but you gotta watch it in order.
Yeah.
I love.
Gotta watch The Hobbit first.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Actually, I don't even think I've seen The Hobbit, so that's why I didn't get to Lord of the Rings again.
Now, I have like this thing, okay, where I can't read a book or watch a movie until all the sequels are out. So, like Harry Potter, I knew not to start watching until, or reading until the series was complete. Okay, and same with Lord of the
I
Rings.
can't wait.
Okay, no, because I just get so hooked on the story. I'm like, I need to know what happened. So I'm like, I might as well just wait. Okay, but then the
Yeah.
problem is, it becomes 5, 10 years later,
Yeah.
and they finally release the
I'm
last one.
impatient. I
and then
don't
I'm
like
like,
to wait.
but then I just like, I can't be bothered. Okay, so I've never seen Harry Potter. I've never seen
Oh my
or read Harry Potter
God.
or Lord of the Rings because it just, by the time that they'd done with the series, I was like, over it.
I am shook right now. I cannot believe this. I think this is because I've watched Harry Potter so much.
Same here.
That's actually
I
quite
love that
sad.
movie too. But I'm the same way when it comes to series or whatever. If I watch a series and you have maybe season 1, 2, 3, if you know the next one's coming out, and it takes another year for it to come out, and then you're waiting to see what happens. By the time the new one comes out, it's almost like you have to watch it over again.
That's the
to
fun.
remember-
You got to
to
binge
remember
watch
what
it
you-
again
where you
so that you
left
know
off.
what you're up to.
No, I can't do that.
No, because they always leave it on a cliffhanger. It sucks because you're always like, no,
Yeah.
I want to know what happens after that. You know.
I've probably already told you the story about, I used to watch The West Wing, okay, and here, okay, it was on at 11 o'clock on a Tuesday night. Okay, so I'd get home from work I'd finish work at 11, I'd come home, and I'd watch The West Wing. Okay, and then they started playing with the time slots, and they started moving it, and it was just random every, like, couple of weeks I'd switch it around. But at the end of season 1, it ended on a cliffhanger. And I'm like, I need to know what happens. And by this point, we're already 2 years behind America. Okay, so I'm like, I just went
Really?
and downloaded it. Yeah.
You're 2 years for movies?
Back then,
back then, yeah.
back then, everything was like 2 years behind. Now we're pretty much like same day. But back then we were 2 years behind. Okay, and I'm like, I have to download this. Okay, there has to be a way to download it, and this is back when I had dial-up. Okay, so I downloaded
Wow.
the entire first episode of the second season of The West Wing with dial-up. It took a week.
I was going to say, how many days did that take?
A week, okay? And then I went to watch it, and it was audio only.
Oh,
So I listened to it. So I listened to it for a whole hour. Because I need to know,
I
you
wouldn't have been able
know,
to do that. I wouldn't have been able to. No,
No way.
Need the visual.
I'd be like,
need
nah,
the
I'm
visual.
not doing it.
I needed to know if someone had died or not. Because the end of the first season ends with, like, a shooting. Okay? And you
Wow.
know someone's shot, but you don't know who.
Oh
And you don't know
man.
if they're dead or not. And yeah, so I had to watch it to find out.
You know, like back then when we talked
Or
about
listen to it.
dial-up, even today we all complain if it takes longer than 5 seconds to load a page or whatever. Imagine,
Oh, I know, right?
remember that? Having to wait for the whole
Yeah.
alien sound to go through the laptop and well, no, not laptop back then. It was these big box computer things.
Yeah.
But
Or what was even worse is like you finally got something that you wanted, and then your mum needed to use the telephone, so you had
hello,
to
the
unplug
phone
it.
girl.
I
yeah,
know.
yeah, you had to unplug it. Or you get a
Someone's
busy
calling.
sound.
Damn it.
Or yeah, I think there was even a time when someone would call and it would disconnect the internet.
Yep.
Oh, was it
Okay.
my dad set up like the thing of where it was like the splitter or whatever, so it was connected to the phone and the internet. And but it didn't work properly. So like you would have like this tiny little boom, and then like that was it. And then we're like, what is going on? And we realized it was actually people trying to call. Like the whole thing just it wasn't allowing phone calls through. And like I was so upset because like school holidays, and I totally missed my friend calling me for a concert that I'd missed. And I'm like,
Oh, that's like the end of the world when you're a teenager.
I was devastated. I'm like, that's it. The world is over. I missed out on a concert. Stupid dial up.
Oh man. Yeah,
I
that would
kind
have
of
been
miss the
fun.
sound that it would make.
Yeah.
You could add that as a ringtone on your laptop. I'm sure they have it out there. Yeah, they
Did
have
any
it.
of you guys do like the Yahoo chat thing back then?
Yeah.
Remember they used to have chat boards? Okay,
Yes,
or
Oh,
AOL chat and stuff like
vaguely.
that. Okay,
Yeah, so I
and
remember
like
Yahoo Chat, and what was the other one? There was another
was-
like chat thing.
It was
it was
MSN. wasn't it?
MSN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
MSN.
But
wait,
Yahoo
there was
Chat was
another
just
one.
random.
I can't
There was
remember
another
its
one?
name. Yeah, there was another one.
Was it one of
AOL
those that we...
was one.
Oh, I can't remember.
I'm thinking
I'm
of
sure
the
it'll come
Halloween-
to me when I leave the stream.
I'm thinking of the Halloween costumes that we pulled up. There was one that had a clip. Remember the Halloween costume? And
Oh, yeah.
the lady dressed up as an early
The
browser,
info thing from
the browser type thing. Is that what she's talking about, maybe?
No, that was that clip was like the help button on
Now
like
I Google it.
Windows 98 or something, or Windows
Google it,
95.
Because
Okay.
you could totally share that after if you want to, if you find it.
Yeah.
So Lord of the Rings is number 25.
Yeah.
I've seen it, but it was a while ago. This is the original first one.
I've never even heard of this one.
I haven't seen that one. Bong Joon.
Assuming if I've never heard of it, that it's
She's-
probably made it be in like
ICQ.
ICQ?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know
Thank
about
you,
that
Google.
one. Maybe
Yeah,
we didn't have
ICQ.
But
I think
Sorry,
I've seen
trucks.
this movie.
okay, do you remember how you used to start every conversation with ASL? Like A dash or backslash.
Oh, age,
S
sex,
slash-
location.
Yeah. Okay.
I do.
Oh my god, it's all coming back.
Yeah.
No, but I'm
Showing
thinking
our
like
age.
one day we need to go into like a random chat and like a YouTube thing.
It's
Just
just
like
so
ASL.
My online name was Daisy for a while, and then I was like, maybe that's not such a good idea. Daisy.
Oh, that's so funny.
Age, sex location.
Yes, Glob Bob, I'm the AI. I think I'm
Okay.
stuck with that name now.
Definitely seen this.
Yes, I've seen this as well.
Yes.
E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
Okay.
I didn't
that
know
one.
that was the full name. I just thought it was E.T. But apparently it's
Yeah, I
full
know,
name
right?
is E.T.
It's because that's all anyone calls it. And look at the poster as well.
Yeah. I guess in that really small font underneath the E.T. it says the Extraterrestrial.
What if I told
No
you
one
guys I've
reads
never
the,
seen
the
it?
fine print.
Really?
Yeah, man.
I'm joking.
Say, oh my goodness.
I would have said that's going on our list.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I watched it, of course, when it came out. I even had a plushie.
Oh,
I had
Oh, really?
an E.T. plushie. Yeah.
I'm pretty
That's
sure
a
I've got one.
collectible now.
Wait, do I still have it?
Do you still have that? Oh my god. I think
I
it got
think so.
mine ended up
The
getting
ET kind of
damaged.
freaked me out, so there was no way I was having a plushie of it. Like, the look of him freaked me out.
I don't know if I
I was more
might
like, oh, he's so
have it
cute.
on there.
It was, he's just like a...
Yeah, I was just
But
like,
But I've
to
definitely
have.
got like ET figurines and stuff because for some reason, okay, my mum would just get me something ET related every year. So I've got ET figurines, ET dolls, yeah. Okay.
cool.
I think when I came back from the States when I was a kid, I bring back an ET doll. Okay, from like Universal. Okay, and so Mum's like, oh, that's a theme.
yeah.
And just
Isn't it so
piled
funny
on.
that mums they like this one thing, so we're just gonna like repeat and repeat and repeat. And, like, okay, they
Yeah.
like it, so we're just gonna keep getting it for them. It's just like
Yeah.
this. Like my dad figured out I like this one perfume, and like literally every birthday and Christmas, I kept getting the same perfume, same perfume. I'm like, Dad, can you stop? I've got like 10 bottles of this perfume I'm not being able to go through. So I had to like gift them to people. I had too many of his one bottle of perfume.
But then you've got to alter it. You can say, like, get me the soap of that perfume. Or the body wash of that perfume. There you go.
Velcro.
Well, sometimes gift sets would be involved.
Yeah. He says, nothing to see here, ladies in chat. Move along with your chat. We're just laughing at your expense. No harm, no foul. Smarter. So we have to be sneaky. Was that my outside voice? You know, we're sometimes part of the chat too in other live streams, and we love a good conversation in chat. So yeah, we're gonna be watching.
The chat takes on a life of its own.
It does. It's so
Oh, yeah.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Inception.
I actually can't
Yes.
remember if I've seen this or not.
Yeah, same.
I've
Something
seen
tells
it.
me I
feel like I have.
but then I don't
can't
remember it at
remember.
all. Okay.
I think I have seen it. I just it's
Actually,
one
I
of
don't
those
think I have.
movies. It's one of those movies that I know I'd recognize if I watched again, but I don't really remember
Yeah.
anything about it.
I
know
Actually, it
think
I've
can't
it's
be
seen
probably
good
one of
if
those
that's-
things where I've
Okay.
seen bits and pieces of it, but not the whole thing together.
But I'm looking at starring. Okay, obviously Leonardo DiCaprio, but Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Ellen Page. The only movie I can remember seeing Ellen Page in was Juno. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt, the only movie I can remember seeing him in is 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh, what
So-
about the Last Night? Oh no, wait. Yeah, is it Last Night? Batman,
Haven't seen
the
it.
Christopher Nolan, the you know how like the three Batmans.
Yeah, haven't seen
Batman.
it.
I love Batman.
I love those.
I love Batman. Michael Keaton was my favorite Batman,
Okay, I'm putting
Okay.
it on my list that I've got to watch this movie because I
and it
can't
was the
remember.
best soundtrack too. The best soundtrack. 90s.
Avatar.
I will. Yeah.
Robin's movie.
Ah.
Avatar.
One of my movies, yeah. I really do want to see this, the second and third. But there's two new ones. I thought there was
okay.
only one, but there's two. Yeah.
Or
Really?
is it
I'm
like
pretty
a
sure.
2.5, so like 2 and 2.5 kind of thing?
I don't know if it's the same movie that was promoted twice in two different ways, or if, like an extended version type thing, or whatever. But I don't know. I saw two advertisements for that.
Oh,
The
okay.
next one coming out that was coming out in December.
Oh.
So I was gonna take my child to go see. She's 14. We were gonna go see Avatar at the theater, but it didn't work out. We didn't get to go, but looking forward to it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but it's got Sam Worthington in it, so maybe I should.
What were you
He's
gonna
Australian.
say?
It is a good movie.
I liked it. I thought it was very creative, especially for its time. You know, because
Yeah.
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 But it's like crazy the amount of time that's passed since this one came out to the new one, to the second one. I'm like, why did they wait so long?
Ooh, seeing it in IMAX would be cool. But
Oh, wow,
IMAX
yeah.
3D. Is that the one where you like all the seats are really upright and the screen goes around you like this?
kind of.
Is that
yeah.
what the IMAX is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
you
like a
have to sit at the
huge
back in an
screen.
IMAX.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you're at the front, you're like this.
yeah, you'd be like,
I see a pixel.
So, Falcro, what was the opinion on your old roommate's? What was his or her opinion on that second one? I'm curious because I don't know. I guess if you didn't like the first one, you're certainly not going to like the second one. But if you like the first one, then you're hoping the second one's going to be just as good. It's all about the storyline because we watched The Predator. Ash and I, we watched The Predator. It's not the second one. What one was that one?
That was the like third or fourth.
So it was the very latest.
my husband and I did a binge watch of all the Predator movies.
Yeah, and did you like the very last one? Because it was kind of 50-50 for me. I was like, oh, I loved it, but at the same time, it was a completely different style and completely different take
Yeah.
on the whole
It wasn't
thing.
the
I didn't
prequel
mind
I
it.
was expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually love the prequel Prey. Is it Prey?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it was called,
Yeah.
right?
Love it. I love that one. The
Yep.
new one that just came out. So good.
Yeah.
I liked it, but it still didn't explain like what they are and where they come from.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think Ash was hoping
know.
for a little bit of more of an explanation at this point to tell the audience like how this all started, you know, like where the predators
Yeah.
all come from.
The Falcon replied, he said it's a must see.
Oh, yay!
Cool.
That encourages me to go. Now I want to watch it today.
But if they're making 3, then I've got to wait until the third one comes out.
You're gonna wait another couple of years before.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King, 2003.
Okay, why would
That
they
would
put
be
it
the
on the same
third
list?
one.
But
'Cause
why
it's a
would they
sequel.
put? Yeah, but I mean, if we're gonna do 25 movies, wouldn't the sequels just be kind of?
Yeah, they could have just
Oh
put it
no,
like,
not
end
necessarily,
series.
because they're like a different movie, I guess.
Yeah.
So like it's like with Star Wars, everybody has their own opinions on which Star Wars movies are better, but there's like however many of them now.
All right.
Okay.
Fair enough. Fair. All right, so that's
Is it the same cast? No.
20. That's the one where they.
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
Okay, so this one had many different reviews. I think it took me a long time to watch that one. I ended up watching it, and then, some people, it's one of those 50-50 movies. People say, yeah, it was awesome, or really sucked, so.
I didn't mind it, and there's like a director's extended version of it too, isn't there? Like a
Yeah.
really long one.
I don't remember
I
ever
don't
watching
think I
it,
saw that.
but it is very old, so it's possible I saw it when I was young.
Well,
and
I
just
like
forget.
Harrison Ford, so
Me too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Harrison Ford.
1982 it was made. So that's 41 years old this year.
I wasn't even alive.
I have a friend that I went
Neither
to
was I.
high school with. He played in a movie with Harrison Ford, just a little cameo, as he moved to California now. But what was the name of that? That was
Excuse me.
Adeline or whatever. Adeline, is it?
Yeah, I've seen that.
oh,
Yeah.
The Age
Yeah.
of Adeline.
Yep, that's
I
the one.
love that. With Blake Lively. I love that movie. But I like
that's-
Blake Lively, so
That was a
yeah,
good
love it.
I was talking to a co-worker the other day. He said back when the Matrix was getting filmed in Sydney, some guy just came up to him random on the street, okay, at work, okay, and said, "Hey, you're the right body shape. We need body doubles for Keanu Reeves in the Matrix. Okay, would you be interested?" And he goes, "Nah," and walked away. I'm like,
That's such
why
an
would you say no
Australian
to
thing,
that? I'm like, he's like, I wouldn't have been making the same amount of money as driving a train. I'm like, yeah, but the experience.
Yeah.
Just do it while you're on annual leave. Take some annual leave or
Yeah,
something.
be like, just
and-
take some time off.
Yeah.
So the Falcro says James Cameron claims that all of the filming for the movies was done as a continuous shoot, as though it was one movie. Oh,
Okay, so that's Avatar. Yeah. So you need to watch them all in one go.
fun fact.
If you shot it all in one go, you got to watch it all in one go.
Well, you know what? I'll just watch the first one and then go to the movies to watch the second one. I've done that before. Where I've gone to watch the sequel and I've actually done that with the Fast and the Furious movies.
Do you know what I
We've
miss?
had like a marathon of them before we've gone off to watch the next one.
The
Those
cinemas
ones-
here. Okay, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Go ahead.
The cinemas here used to do a movie marathon on the Sunday night before every public holiday.
I never did that.
Oh, I did when I was a teenager. So it started at midnight on the Sunday night, and the Monday's public holiday, and they'd play 4 movies, okay, or maybe 3 or sometimes 5. Okay, and you just pay for one movie, and you get to watch all of them.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, and I wish they still did that, but I don't think they do it anymore.
I don't think
Okay.
so.
The Fast and the Furious I found was kind of like Speed and Speed 2 and all of that. It's the same type of story, but it's just different actors, different like way of telling it, and I kind of got, oh my gosh, I'm going to get Havoc for this probably, but I kind of got bored with it.
I stopped watching after the 5th.
I kind of got bored with it, so oh my God,
I've
people are
watched
gonna-
it all.
People
I
are gonna
really
say,
like.
"Rabbit!"
Did you want to watch it all, or were you made to?
No, I like the Fast and the Furious franchise.
I like
Never
it too.
seen
But like
any of
my,
them.
my favorite one is actually the third one, which is actually the Tokyo one.
I think I watched up till, the first, second, third is probably as far as I went. After that,
Yeah.
it was a fun movie to watch when it first came out.
When I went and did my license, guess what movie they made us watch? Probably not the best movie to watch when you're getting your license. Tokyo Drift.
Fast and Furious.
Tokyo Drift.
Oh my god.
What'd you
Why
say?
would they make you watch that?
Tokyo Drift. I have no idea. It was
That's
during the
so
lunchtime. They're like,
random.
here, a good movie for you guys to watch.
Alright.
They should have put in like Clueless or something. Remember when Cher's getting her license on
That is
Clueless?
like my favorite movie of all time. I can watch that movie. My husband can't watch it with me because I can literally like say the movie word by word. That's how many times I've seen it.
It's a good movie. I can't quote it, but yeah.
Yeah.
I miss the days of double feature.
Double feature.
Tuesdays showing her age.
It's alright.
It's okay,
We're all
I'm-
showing
I'm-
our age.
I'm with you, girl. Don't worry.
I don't understand why they don't still
I've
do
never
it.
seen this movie.
That one is another one I've seen, but
I think I've seen
gotta
it.
be in the mood to watch it. I guess it's one of those. I mean, Martin
you gotta be in
Scorsese is a good, obviously a good director and everything, but I don't know when it comes to like The Godfather and all of that stuff. Was it? I guess it was never my kind of thing, but I still ended up watching them.
I think I saw it, but like in the late 90s. Like when it was on like VHS or TV.
I like Joe Pesci as a comedian, though, instead of the serious movies. He's so much funny. He's so much fun, and
He was good in Home Alone.
Oh yeah.
It was him in Home Alone, right? Yeah.
yeah, he was in one of them. That was the first one, I think.
Wasn't he the bad guy, the robber? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Was he? Oh yeah, he was the
Sticky Bandit.
yeah.
Yeah.
The one I'm thinking of was the one where he was My Cousin Vinny or something.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Yeah,
hilarious.
my cousin Vinny.
Correct.
Yeah,
He
there we
wants
go.
to hit-
Okay.
I don't think I've seen that either.
I've
Oh,
seen
that's
that.
fun. I think you'd enjoy that one, Mel,
Yeah.
if you got to see it. Yeah, it's funny.
I've
It'll
never
go on
seen
the
this
list.
Casablanca.
Neither have I.
one. Way too
Casablanca.
old for me.
I think I've never watched it in one sitting, but I've watched bits and pieces, and from other movies where they played in the background. Then I know the story because I've seen enough of it from seeing clips of it in other movies.
Casablanca it's another one that I watched early on, and probably in my teen years, so I don't really remember it much, but I'm sure I have a friend that has all those classics still on VHS, so
It's 80 years old.
yeah,
Oh wow.
it's a classic. We all know it's a classic, but I don't remember the whole thing. Squad Bob says it's like Matthew McConaughey movies. It's just the guy shirtless. Women don't even follow the plots. That's not true.
It makes me
It's
want to
not-
follow the plot even more.
Matthew McConaughey, nah. Yeah, the
The
plot's
Falco
important.
says he's seen this at least a dozen times and it's in his top 5. Casablanca. Am I
It's a
saying it
rewatch.
right? Because someone
Yeah.
the other day said it and they said it differently and I'm like, what?
Casablanca.
Casablanca, that's what I thought it was. Like
Oh.
casa, like home in Spanish. Casablanca.
How did they pronounce it?
Can't
You
remember.
know?
Casablanca? I don't know.
Casablanca.
Casablanca.
Yeah, I don't know.
Casablanca.
Yeah.
Casablanca.
Tomato. We all have our way of saying it.
I just always thought it was Casablanca and then suddenly I'm like, what? Am I second guessing myself?
No, I think. Well, I mean, you say it the same way we do. So
Mhm.
maybe.
It's an actual place though. Okay. Like, there's a city in. Is it in Morocco or in Algeria? I'm not sure. It's on the Mediterranean.
Top fives. Top 5 faves. Dirty Dancing is. Who knew that was going to turn into a classic, man? Because didn't they redo this movie already? Did they
I
redo
think
it?
they did. I think they redid it in the last
And it
year or
didn't
so.
do well.
Or
It didn't do well, I don't think.
I didn't watch it because the original was the best. I find it's just
Yeah.
perfect the way it is. We can live,
I don't think it's
lot
old
it as
enough
a
to do a
classic.
remake. Okay.
I think it is.
Oh,
It's an 87.
nothing is old enough for a remake. Like, they'll,
Like, they just
like look how many
screw it all
times
up.
that they've done like Batman, Spider-Man, Batman, and like Superman and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They'll remake anything. Like even like Gossip Girl. It wasn't done that long ago, and they've already done like a remake of it.
Yeah. Some.
So
I
But some things work as a remake. Like Heartbreak High, they just did. That's an Australian show that was on
I
in the
never watched it.
90s. It was kind of
I
like think
watched the
Degrassi.
original.
I
Okay.
was just gonna say that. I was just thinking that same thing because Degrassi, when it first came out, it was only in Canada, and then what's his name became famous, and then they ended up.
Oh no, we had it
distributing
here back in like when you guys had it.
distributing it like in other countries after that. You had it?
Yeah,
You
we
had
had
the
it back because I remember watching it when I was a kid.
Okay.
Okay. I remember the school fire really like freaked me out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
that was the cast.
yeah, but last year, I think it was last year, it might have been the year before, they remade Heartbreak High. New characters, the same school, okay, kind of thing. It follows the same kind of topic areas as Degrassi, that's why they're very similar type shows. Okay. But the remake is so good. Like I watched it and I couldn't stop watching.
I haven't watched it, but back then it was like the only thing that we could watch that was geared towards teens, you know. So we
Yeah, like if they tried to make Degrassi again now, okay, like I know they have, but if they tried to make it again now with the same storylines, I don't think it would get on American TV.
it's like Mel said, maybe it's been done too much already. I mean,
No. I meant like I think it'd be
There's
too
a lot of stuff that
controversial.
you could sort of
Yeah.
get away with, like back in
Yeah,
like
like-
the 90s that you can't get away with now.
Like Degrassi did a whole arc on teen pregnancy. Remember, like
yeah, that was
Spike had
very
the baby when she was
controversial
like
for us.
14. Okay.
Yeah.
And they did the HIV thing, okay, like
Yep.
HIV/AIDS, okay. They did all this stuff that I don't think a teenage show could get away with anymore, especially in like America.
Well, it was
Yeah.
controversial for us back then, anyways, and on
Yeah,
Canadian
but they can still
television.
do it, kind of thing.
They almost got shut down for that.
Yeah.
I think it was more taboo back then than it is now. No, you think? You think it's gonna
I
be more
think
taboo now?
I think
It's more
progressive people have
censored.
become more progressive and conservative people have become more conservative. So the extremes are, the gulf is wider.
More
Okay,
in
now.
between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Fair
yeah,
point.
so it would really outrage the people on one side. Okay, like everything outrages everyone on the other side.
So
Okay, so Dirty Dancing. I'm assuming everyone's seen that.
it
I
was.
think I have.
Yeah,
I remember
I
back-
definitely know I have.
Yeah, back then, that's back when we were all just dancing, and always like the big craze was to get into R&B and hip hop dancing and stuff like that. Is when it started for us.
So
And we
87
weren't-
is right. I thought that
we were
year was
actually
wrong.
we weren't supposed to be allowed to watch it because it had like a
Rated
cou-
R.
like well, yeah, it had certain scenes, but now you look back on it and it's like it's not that bad considering what's available today. Just
I
in
always,
video clips.
the craziest thing is Jennifer Grey though. Like
Yeah.
in this movie and Ferris Bueller's Day Off, after that she is like unrecognizable because she decided to get her nose job, and then that's
Yeah.
it. She doesn't look like herself again.
It's true.
And
It
it's
did
like-
change. It did change the way she looked a lot.
It
Like I mean, she.
completely changed the look of her face.
Yeah, I
it's
didn't
just
recognize
absolutely
her either,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it is incredible because it didn't. I don't think it changed like that. Her nose actually changed that much. Like but it did end up changing.
Yeah, because
her-
because
face,
like
yeah.
her nose gave her a very distinctive look, like Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
And then just that small change, just
I know. Same here. I
It's
didn't
just-
recognize her in a different movie. I can't remember what movie
Yeah.
it was afterwards, but I remember thinking the same thing when I saw the credits. I was like, "What?" And I had to go back and look, and wow. But I thought she was so beautiful in this movie, and her nose the way it was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
I found it, she still looks beautiful now, but yeah, it just changed her look completely for sure.
I'm not sure if I've actually seen it all. I've always seen bits and pieces. If I have watched it all, I can't remember the entire storyline.
We're gonna have a watch party for like a list of things now. Between the
Yes.
four of us.
But going back to what you said earlier, like have you ever gone back and watched movies that you watched when you were a kid and then realized, oh my god, this is like so adult Like
Yeah.
Grease. Have you
Like
ever watched
Jaws.
Grease as an? Well, no, but like The Sound of Music is about World War Two.
Mhm.
Okay, Grease is all about sex and
Mhm.
partying and stuff like that. Okay,
Well, I think when you're
and
younger,
you
you
watch
don't.
it as a kid, you don't. It goes completely over your head.
Yeah, because you don't register it. You're not thinking that
Yeah.
way, so you just see them dancing and singing and dancing around and singing and stuff. So it's not really.
Yeah. Okay, and then you go back and watch it as an adult, and you're like, what the?
Ooh.
Why? My parents let me watch this?
I mean, it's cringeworthy when you even commercials back when I was growing up that have been banned now. So.
Yeah. Oh, there was a kid show on in Australia when I was a kid, and it was called Agro.
Hmm?
Okay,
Oh,
Agro's Cartoon Connection, and
yeah.
what it was like a breakfast show for kids, but they'd play cartoons like every half an hour, and they'd just introduce the cartoons and read fan mail and stuff between each cartoon. Like He-Man and the Jetsons and the Flintstones and stuff like that. Okay, and if you go back, you can go on YouTube and find clips. Agro was so dirty. Okay, and it's like it all went completely over all of our heads. Okay, everyone I know, everyone watched that when I was a kid. So I remember being in like second grade and everyone saying, "Who's your favorite character?" and everyone saying Agro, and I had no idea who Agro was because I didn't watch TV back then.
I don't know
And
who it is, so I don't know if we have that.
yeah, but everyone in Australia like was watching it. Like I remember my whole second grade class watched Agro, and I was the only one who didn't. I was like, "What's Agro?" And then the next day I watched it, and then I watched it every day after that.
We ended up. I remember being in school and our teacher brought in. I mean, back then there was a big TV set on a.
Yeah.
All right, Cake. We're probably. I'm gonna go way back too. I'm just gonna reveal my age.
No, we had those
But-
too.
Oh, you did the big TVs and
On
they'd
like
have-
a
if you were
cabinet
in
with the
class,
VCR underneath.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
had to bring it and wheel
On the
it in,
trolley.
and it took me on the trolley. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And but we thought we were going to be watching a movie, and then we ended up watching the Challenger live, the launch live.
And that went.
Yeah, and I remember
Oh.
we were watching it and. We didn't understand what was happening. We didn't really, because she didn't say anything. She didn't make reference. She didn't tell us. She
Yeah.
just turned it off and panicked.
She
and
probably didn't
brought
know
us
what to
back
do.
class, and we went on
Yeah.
to science. Like we did something else after, but.
She
that
probably
was-
wouldn't have known what to do. Like I
No, I
wouldn't
think
have known.
everybody would. Yeah, everybody
Like-
was in shock.
When we're kids, we think of our teachers and that as being like such grown-ups, but like looking back,
It was, yeah. Well,
like a few of my teachers were like older, but most were a lot younger than what I am now. Okay, like in their like mid-20s. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can understand now as an educator how she probably panicked and didn't know what to do after, because it was
Yeah.
a shock to the whole world, basically.
Yeah.
So. But
Um,
I mean, that was her first attempt to show us something in class.
Never doing that
It's like
again.
saw the TV again. She never brought in movies or whatever after.
Yeah.
But at least with a VCR, I mean, well, back then, you could watch it first and then bring it in class.
But we used to get excited when we would see the trolley coming. Because it was
Yeah.
meant that we were watching Round the Twist or The Simpsons. Okay. No, because our teachers always put on the same shows. Because they just recorded, they only had like 2 tapes.
You were allowed to watch The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Wow.
When it was like raining or something on sports day, every Friday we had sports day, which meant like after lunch, after recess. So recess was at like 11 a.m. After that, for the rest of the day, it was all sport. But if it was raining, you couldn't do the sport. So they'd just put us all in like the AV room, wheel in the TV, and put in one of the cassette tapes. And one was this show called Round the Twist, which is an Australian show, kid show. Okay, and then the other one was The Simpsons.
We weren't allowed to watch The Simpsons.
This
Yeah.
is like the early
It had to
90s,
be,
though.
like,
So
Yeah.
French dubbed whatever TV shows for us.
When we used to have to get up and change the channel and stuff, we had Channel 5, Channel 3, and that was that. And we preferred watching American TV shows because everything on, it's like she said, the Canadian TV shows were were really bad.
Dubbed in
They were like low
French.
budget. Yeah. Low
Oh,
budget
ours still
versions.
are.
Well, they're better now. They're a lot better now,
Mm.
but
We actually there's two Australian shows I watched over the last couple of weeks, and I binged them both because they were just so good. Okay. But now I'm trying to recruit other people to watch them so I can talk about them. Okay. No, there's one, and it's called The Newsreader, and it's got Anna Torv in it, and she's Did you ever watch Fringe?
Fringe.
It
Fringe
was like a
or Friends?
Fringe.
Fringe.
It was like a sci-fi FBI alien.
Oh yeah, I did
okay.
see a couple of episodes, but I
Okay,
didn't,
the girl out of that. Okay, she's the main character. Okay, so it's kind of like Mad Men, but in the 80s, and they work in television instead of advertising. Okay, but other than that, okay, and I was like, this is like a really good show. Okay, and the other one was it's called Irreverent, and it's an American character and he's running from the mob in Chicago, and he ends up in Australia pretending to be a minister.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was just really good. I need them to make new seasons of both of them.
I don't know how we're gonna manage a pajama night, ladies, because we all have different time zones to think about. One of us is, or two of us is definitely gonna be in pajamas in the daytime if we do that. We're gonna figure out something for
I
a
have
watch
no
party.
problem with that.
So it's number 15. Oh, of course.
Sound of Music,
Yep. Sound of
Of
Music.
course.
the World
Never
War
seen
II
it.
movie.
Yeah.
Never seen.
Like, he's a Nazi. She's fully in love with a Nazi.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Well, I don't remember
I
that
haven't seen it
part.
in a very long time, so I'm just
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't remember that part. Maybe it's like
Yeah, I
what
don't
you
They
remember
said.
had flags on their house. Nazi flags on their house.
Guess we're gonna have to rewatch Mel.
That's what they're,
Holy
that's what they're
moly.
running away from at the end. Okay,
Oh,
they're running
yeah.
away from the Nazis because
Oh,
he's
boy.
like, he doesn't want to be part of it. And that's why they leave their house and run into the
Kids
hills.
don't realize these things.
Yeah. But now you
Shop
know.
online. We're gonna have to watch all the movies we suggest next time first.
I know.
Yeah.
I've never seen this, so I have no idea.
Oh well,
I
so then
love-
it's got to go on the list.
It's got to go
Sorry,
on my list
Ash.
too because it's been so long since I've seen it. Really, I was probably a teenager when I watched that too. Like
Ash
young-
hasn't seen this.
young-
How have you not seen this? This is like a classic.
it's
It's
a
like
classic.
this and Mary Poppins are like two must-see movies when you're a kid.
Well, I'm
Oh,
gonna
it's the
have
same
to put that on my
actress.
list of.
Have you seen Mary Poppins?
Yeah, but long time ago.
The
still.
original one.
The original.
It's
yeah.
the same actress. Okay.
I don't think I've seen it. I don't think I've seen both.
I didn't really enjoy like musicals that much, as ironic as that sounds. Yeah, it's true. When I have a family member that always asks me to go see musical movies, no matter if it's a classic or if it's a new one or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I don't really want to hear the dialogue being sung throughout the whole thing, you know? I don't know
Yeah.
what it is.
I don't like it when they just suddenly break out into song, and it has nothing to do with the storyline.
Aw. Sometimes
See-
it can be fun.
I think for musicals, you either love them or you don't, you know? Like it's
Some
one of those things.
some I like, some I don't. I don't know. Like I like these ones, like the classics, but like the new stuff, it just seems to not make sense.
That sounds like fun.
Cake or Cake says.
Well,
go
no,
to
what we should do that
six.
is if and when they ever make the new Sister Act, we'll do
Oh
that.
God.
We already know Mel's opinion on that movie.
Didn't like Sister Act?
That's all right. I'm not a big fan of Whoopi Goldberg.
Okay.
No, me neither.
Yeah, so that's why I'm a bit.
I like her a lot, actually.
Oh.
The movies that she's done in the 80s and stuff. The later ones are better, I find, that she was in. But Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Is that the one? No, the Temple of Doom is the one that freaked me out. I had nightmares after that. When they were
I
in
think
the...
I always remember this movie. My mum would always make me close my eyes when the ark opens up,
Yeah.
and like, and because is it do people melt? I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've watched it because there's one Indiana Jones where my husband's just like where the ark opens up and people melt. My mum always made me close my eyes. I was so little at the time, so she
Yeah.
didn't want me to see that. So, what I remember from that movie. And so we used to watch all the other Indiana Jones movies except for Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah. Well, I think, I'm a mom too, so I definitely would either shut it off or fast forward or tell her to look away if I found anything. Because that's why it says PG, right? In those movies, it's parental guidance. You got to keep... Because, kids have vivid imaginations, and you put one image in their mind, and then it sticks there forever, and then they wake up in the middle of the night, and then nobody in the house gets any sleep.
Yeah.
You know what? My parents never like filtered anything. I don't think.
Oh, no.
Like I was watching like crime shows. Like, do you remember that? You probably didn't get this show in Canada. It's called The Bill. It was a British cop show.
No.
I was watching that when I was like 5.
I don't know.
Okay.
Was it like PG or was it like R?
Oh, it was
Should have been
probably-
restricted or something.
I sometimes, yeah. Well, they didn't have like shootings or anything because it's British. But there was like, I remember there was one scene, there was like one episode where there was like a prostitute. And I was like, what's a prostitute? To like my parents, and they're like, oh, someone who sells their body. I'm like, oh, okay. And that just went over my head. Okay. But yeah.
My
Well-
parents were oddballs. They wouldn't let me watch The Simpsons, but they let me watch, what was it called? The one with
Uh-oh.
the dolls there. They come, Chucky.
Chucky. Oh,
What?
good lord.
Yeah, they let me
Is that
watch
because
Chucky,
they
but
didn't
wouldn't let me
know,
watch
or-
The Simpsons.
Is that because
Oh
I didn't
my.
know what Chucky was, or?
I have
Yeah, they
no
thought it
idea.
was like a kid's movie, and then they handed it over here, okay, and then they were doing other errands or something
I
while
really
you guys
don't
were
know.
watching it. Chucky freaked me out. I didn't watch much of that. No,
I
didn't
threw out all
like
my
it at
dolls
all.
after that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
I think
So-
my parents were like, either I will understand it because I already have a reference point, or I won't. Okay,
Well-
so just
I think
Yeah.
maybe because what Mel's talking about is like the image of like Cake says, saw this at the cinema with a picnic, and yes, the German faces melt. So that's like the image of the faces that
Yeah.
get stuck in that child's mind.
And it's like,
then
and it's
after
like that old school, like not proper like CGI. So it's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
model clay melting.
Yeah, they used like
but then
sculpture
Oompa Loompas
stuff,
would freak me out.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
wax melting.
and it looks real. It's like- yeah,
Like if
they
you
were-
burn like one of those
Like the
like
House of
like
Wax?
Madame Tussauds wax figures. It's like what it like looks like.
that would
so
creep
weird.
me. Yeah, that would creep me
Yeah.
out too. I
What
wouldn't
would
have
creep
let
me
it
out
go.
though
As a
was
child.
like Oompa Loompas in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or Willy Wonka. Okay, like
Teletubbies,
with the
yeah.
bright orange skin.
Dude.
Okay, that was like, ugh. Okay. I'd much rather have a melting face than an orange face.
That's what's so
Nah,
interesting
Give me the
about
orange face. They just look they just look like they put too much self tanner on.
That's what's so interesting about each household, like each family or each of us individually, we all have different fears and different things or images that stick to you, and stick in your mind that you don't like.
Yeah.
So,
I remember
always
watching a
interesting.
movie. I think it was a movie. It might have been a TV show when I was really young, like maybe 4 or 5, and it was like I think it was called something like Land of the Giants or something. The people were really small, okay, and there was like it was like they were living in like a dollhouse or something, but it was like a whole town. Okay, it was, and that kind of freaked me out and made me think that, well, maybe we're all characters in like some alien game or something. Yeah.
yeah, MIB did that for me at the end when they showed that little clip. I thought it was really cool. It's an interesting notion though, because nobody really can explain beyond our galaxies and all the
Okay,
other.
like No, it wasn't Gulliver's Travels. It was. I think it was called like Land of. I'm pretty sure it was called Land of the Giants because they were giants compared to them. Okay.
It might be. It sounds familiar what you're talking about.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Actually.
it was like black and white or like early color. It was old when I watched it. Okay, yeah.
Okay. So this
Love
is
Actually.
Love Actually.
I did not like it.
2000.
Ah,
Had to be in the mood.
I don't-
Yeah, again, gotta be in the mood for it, and then you love it, and then if you're not in the mood to watch it, and then you end up wanting to change it. But I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it.
I
at
liked
all.
the stories.
Yeah.
I think said this at Christmas. Okay, I liked the individual stories, but I think they should have been separate movies.
Oh, you think? I think that
Yeah.
was their whole.
oh, I think that's the fun of this where it is like so chaotic. It's the same like with
Yeah.
because they did like what New Year's Day or something like that, where it was all the stories intertwined and all that. So I don't mind that.
No, because I don't think we're getting enough of the story. Because they have to cut it down to make, how many stories is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories in 90 minutes. Okay, so you're getting like 15, 20 minutes each story. Okay, I want at least an hour for each story, damn it.
Well, that's true because Mel, Crystal's a series watcher. Like she likes to have it all done first so that she can see everything to the very end. It's kind of like if you have a good book and you curl up with the good book, and then you don't want to put it down until you have the time to. No, you don't want to read it until you actually have the time to go from cover to cover. I think that's.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, Crystal, but like I did get the way that they were trying to show the stories, though. Like Mel said, like it was kind of their.
But I
style,
really liked,
style of movie.
they had really good casting. Okay. Like, so you got Hugh Grant, you've got Colin
I
Firth,
love Liam Neeson. Love him.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
I love Liam
Alan
Neeson and
Rickman.
Colin Firth. Except I don't
Rowan
like Colin
Atkinson.
Firth's storyline in this.
I can't remember.
I don't remember who he was in this.
He
movie,
was
but-
in was he in Spain or Portugal? And he ends up falling in love with a local girl and going
Ah,
back for
okay.
her or something. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not. Yeah, that storyline's a bit weird.
Well, he's a good action-packed actor. I think when he's in when he's playing a role in an action film, I like him the best. That's where I keep, like certain actors for the chick flicks, and then you have certain actors that you like for action or.
Colin Firth does really well in like the older movies set in like history. Like
Pride and Prejudice, BBC series.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
or The King's Speech.
Hands down.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't think I've
I'm
seen
gonna-
that.
The King's Speech is a good movie.
Pride and Prejudice. I'm gonna go look that up.
He
after.
plays
Pride
King.
and, Pride and Prejudice BBC series. It's like 6 episodes or something like that. Oh,
Yeah,
so good. I will
Yeah, I
binge
like that
watch
too.
that any day.
yeah.
All right.
So
I'll check
good.
that out.
But there was a guy in this, and that's the reason I watched it. It wasn't any of these people. It was the guy that's holding the cards.
Oh, the one
Okay.
that's in love with Keira Knightley.
I can't remember his real name now. Okay, because this is 20 years ago. But he was on a TV show called Teachers. It was a British TV show, and it was so funny, that show. Okay, it was absolutely hilarious. Okay, so it was a group of teachers, and it was just them being like, "Screw this." Okay, they're bad teachers. Okay. They've kind of remade it a few times in with different casts, but it's never quite worked. But that's the reason I watched it, and I
Cake
was like,
says Martin Freeman.
no, Martin Freeman's out of Sherlock, not him. The one with the cards. Okay, I'm sure has like dark hair.
Google.
Okay. Okay.
Another Google moment.
Go.
Go. So Squad Bob said a person.
Andrew Lincoln.
No matter what, no matter how small. Yes, indeed.
Oh, yeah. Cake said what character he was. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He was an
that
extra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, got it. For the
What's the
viewers.
name of the
Ah,
the guy
yes.
from Sherlock then?
Avengers. Yes.
It was Martin something.
I love those kinds of movies. They make me laugh. I think they're witty and they're fun and they're still full of action and
Yeah, it's Martin
gore.
Freeman.
I binge
is,
watch all of these.
Yeah, I love the Marvel stuff. So
Yeah.
I've seen this series
totally
like
into it.
10 times.
Yeah.
I've seen this seriously 0 times.
And I love how they do different stories, but then they bring them together in a movie.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, I just remember watching this at the cinemas and there's how it ended, and you're just like,
I want more. I want more.
what? Are you telling me I've got to wait now? Like, what was that?
And then they give you like a little Easter egg at the end, and you're like, I want
Yeah.
more.
And you're like, damn it.
Even after the last one, and they're like, this is gonna be the last one. No, it can't be the
Oh.
last one.
Have you heard they're doing what is it? Ryan Reynolds and his Deadpool.
I heard that.
They're doing a Deadpool with the Hulk. Hugh Jackman's the Hulk. Is it the Hulk? No,
Hugh
no,
Jackman.
it's Wolverine.
Oh yeah,
Wolverine.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Deadpool 3.
Yeah. Okay. I haven't seen any of them, but I'm like, that looks interesting. I would watch a movie with Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds.
Sure.
Yeah, no, because it's been a joke. It's been like a running joke for like Ryan Reynolds for like
Yeah.
ages
Yeah.
with him and Hugh Jackman. So everyone's just like,
Oh.
yes.
Do it, do it.
That
It's
makes
like,
me-
you know,
It's gonna be bigger
the,
at the box office now.
Yeah.
It's
The
it's
very-
going to be massive.
the very
Oh,
last
I wanna watch
episode of Jimmy Kimmel, I reckon is going to have Matt Damon on it. I don't know if you know anything about Jimmy Kimmel's show.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Haven't
Okay.
watched it in a while.
He has this running gag that's been going for like 10 years about how much he and Matt Damon hate each other.
I think I remember that.
I thought
Okay.
that was just. I thought that was
Oh.
just a joke. That's not real, is it?
No, it's not real because
Yeah.
whenever
it's-
Jimmy's not there and they get a guest host, Matt Damon comes on.
Oh, that's
And
so
he-
funny.
And he always does like clips and stuff. It's like they obviously don't hate each other, but it's a running gag on it. So I think the very last episode that he ever does of Jimmy Kimmel, he'll have Matt Damon as a guest,
That's so cool.
and they'll let bygones be bygones or whatever.
There's kind of like the little quarrel between. I keep thinking of him as Marky Mark, but it's Mark Wahlberg. And,
Marky Mark.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, it is.
Yeah, I know. Him and goodness, oh no, I just had a blank now too. He had a running joke gag for Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz and Mark Wahlberg had this running competition about whether working out, you know, when you work out every day, if fasting was a good choice in the morning or not, like before you go do your workout.
Okay.
What do you think now? Like,
Sorry.
because Mark says no, you have to have your breakfast, and the Dr. Oz was always saying no, you fast a few hours before. Could be the opposite.
Depends on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Actually, it depends on what type of exercise. If you're gonna do cardio,
Yeah.
like you want to be fasted for like you don't want to have just eaten and then done any sort of like circuit training or anything like that because you'll puke.
Yeah.
But like for like weight training and stuff like that, it's actually good to actually have some sort of carb and stuff like that before it. So have like even for running as well. So if you're going to do like long distance running, because you'll start to break down those carbs and you actually need that fuel for like your workout. So like so if you're going to do like weights in the afternoon or something like that, it's good to have sort of like a banana or something like that, or to have eaten sort of like an hour
Protein
beforehand. Yeah. Exactly. So that way you've got that way you've actually got like fuel in your muscles for energy, so that you can actually work harder.
Oh, well, that's cool. That
Yeah.
Well, just to be clear to everyone, this isn't medical advice. This is just
No.
our opinions.
No, this is my this is
Yeah.
my general experience, and like even when because I trained for like a half marathon, and our trainer for that, she actually said it's actually good. So because you're running for over an hour, right? You actually so like she actually says to actually have like oats or like a small banana smoothie or something like that, so that you've got like something in your gut, so that you're slowly breaking down that energy as you're running, so that you've got energy to go for over that hour.
That's why you see marathon runners having a banana while they're running, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's carb. Yeah, we need. When I was a swimmer, we had to have carbs too for before our swim meets and stuff. But and also now I'm not even sure which one said it, but it was a running gag between the two of them, Mark Wahlberg and Dr. Oz, and now I can't exactly remember which one's for the fasting and which one's not for the fasting. But they ended up doing like this little clip of them meeting each other after back and forth Twitter comments or something, and then they ended up challenging each other, and they both went to the gym together. One had eaten, one hadn't, and then, you know, but
Interesting.
that's it. Just because you made me think of that, Crystal, when you were talking about your
Yeah.
yeah.
I love this movie.
The
Yeah.
Dark
pleasure.
Knight.
I love Batman, so
Yeah, I haven't seen
I'm
it.
not.
Yeah, I love this series.
I love
Love
the
it.
series of Batman. I don't know if I like. Maybe it's just because I'm biased towards Michael Keaton now. Ever since he did that, but Christopher Nolan. I don't know if I really liked him as Batman. I know
No,
a
he's
lot
the
of people
director.
do.
Christian Bale.
Christian
was
Bale.
it?
Christian Bale. Yeah, Christian Bale's the guy. I had an image of his face in my mind, but Christian Bale.
You're both Chris. Okay.
I think it's because they're two very different Batmans that
Yeah,
I can
they're-
appreciate both. Like they're two very different Batmans.
Well said.
So
That would.
Yeah.
because
definitely.
it's like the original like Michael Keaton ones are very much more like the campy comic book type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Whereas this is kind of like bordering on
As if it
comic
were in
book
real
real
life.
life.
Yeah.
And then that's where like people are very divided over the new one with Robert Pattinson, because that one is really stepping away from comic book and
Yeah.
really just taking that idea of the comic book but making it completely real life.
Realistic, more realistic.
Yeah, making it completely realistic.
So I haven't seen
Because-
the latest one yet, but I'll be
Oh,
interested to see it.
I
on the
really
fence.
enjoyed it, but I know a lot of people that are like, "Oh my god, this is horrible." But it's just
Yeah.
like if you're walking into it like thinking it's going to be like a super campy comic book movie, that's where you're going to be disappointed, because it's not like a typical comic book movie.
Yeah, and I think that's where what Crystal was saying, what you were saying earlier about when you're doing remake, and Ash, I think you even said when you do remakes, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. I think it depends on what
Yeah.
you have as a pre-notion, like you said
Yeah.
first. That's a very, very good point, because a lot of us do, have an idea of a book before we go and see the movie. If we expect it to be a certain way, and we should maybe just kind of drop the expectations, or at least have a notion of where the director's idea is going. It's like you said, if he's more into the realistic side of it, then we're already prepared and we go watch it, and then we'll know, kind of thing. But absolutely. So Ben Affleck was Batman too at one point.
Yeah, I was just thinking like, oh my god, I
Yeah.
completely forgot about Batfleck. And that's a whole different style as well,
Yeah.
because they're basing it, like off the whole like regenerated like Superman thing. So that's in another sort of like genre of its own.
I saw Ben
Like,
Affleck.
I think that
Yeah.
I actually think that Ben Affleck did like a fantastic job
Oh, yeah,
as like
opposite
Batman in those movies.
Yeah. See,
I remember. I definitely watched him as Batman, or at least
Like him as Batman.
was it Elektra, Jennifer Garner? When she played-
Oh my god, that movie.
Okay. No, but that's where they met.
Yeah.
Okay, and
That's a
I
horrible
remember
movie.
seeing that. Either her in his or his in hers. Well, yeah. but I don't watch superhero.
Yeah, because
movies much.
Elektra, like so Daredevil, him as Daredevil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I saw that.
That's
I'm
that's a horrible movie.
I'm kind of with
I can't
Ash
even
on the
remember
whole
that one.
Batman thing with Ben Affleck. I didn't really enjoy him as Ben Affleck as
No.
Batman, but
No.
like I said, maybe it's just because I enjoyed not necessarily the second movie that Michael Keaton played Batman. It was kind of less, but the first one that he ended up being Batman. I think that's my idea of what Batman should be.
I have absolutely
Step
no
on it.
idea whether I liked it or not.
Oh.
I
Well,
can't
maybe you're
remember.
gonna have to watch it again.
Yeah.
It's also because Prince did all the music too. It was awesome. Really good. Loved it. All right, I'll stop.
I've seen this one.
Forrest Gump?
Have we all
Loved
seen
it.
this? Forrest Gump?
They just watched this in school last month. They showed it to the
It's a good
kids.
history lesson. Yeah,
Run,
it
Forrest,
teaches you a
run.
bit about history.
The high school kids. I loved this movie from the moment I watched it. I bought it immediately after on VHS, and still have it.
I don't think I have it.
I like almost all of Tom Hanks's movies.
Yeah, it's good.
Mm,
Not all of them, but most of them.
I can't think of a bad one off the top of my head.
and I haven't seen them all, so I was kind of like,
Well, I don't think anyone's ever seen all of Tom Hanks' movies. I doubt
he's
he
done
even
a
has.
lot.
But I can't think of a bad one off the top of my head.
Falco. I don't run. If you see me running, you should run too, because whatever's chasing me, it's really bad.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm running from a bad diet.
I mean, if you see a few people running outside, what are you going to do? You're going to be like, definitely, I'm not going to wait to find out what's going on. I'm just going to start running too.
I can't run. I'd be like hopping. And
Yeah.
this weird skip hop thing.
Hop on someone's shoulders, drag them down. I do that too. Be like, latch onto somebody. Run.
Okay.
Forrest Gump, yeah. It was awesome.
But that's a good movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really loved Sally Field in this movie. She was really good. Gary Sinise too. He was.
Is it Jenny who dies? Yeah, it's Jenny.
Yeah, it was
isn't it?
Robin.
Yeah. Yeah,
Did she really have to die?
I saw something where there was like this big debate over whether like she was sort of like a villain or not, because like
Aw.
she went through a lot of bad stuff, and then it kind of felt like she used Forrest Gump a bit.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
well, she reflected the way real life relationships go sometimes when you encounter people that are kind of lost in their own pain, I guess. I don't know. Like she was,
Yeah.
she just had, her character had bad decisions all throughout her life because of the
Plus,
trauma.
it was like the
Trauma.
60s and the 70s. and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like someone that lived trauma like that.
Back to the Future. Hell yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like this one.
We all agree on this one? I like it too.
Yeah.
I like
The ride at
all-
Universal is pretty good too. At both Universals.
Oh,
I went on the.
didn't get to.
Okay, so there's a ride at Universal in Hollywood. Okay, that I went on back in 1993, and it's still there. Okay, and they've got the same ride but a newer version at Orlando. Okay, and I went on that again. And I'm
What was
like,
it?
yeah.
What was it like though? You get into a car that looks like
You
the,
get into a car, okay, and it's
a car that
you like it's pretty much like a 4D experience. So you like watching a 3D movie, but you're also getting like wet, like sprayed with water when you go through rain and stuff like that, and like a wind fan in your face and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, Falco.
I agree.
Did you know that the Back to the Future year, like that they go into the future,
It was like the other
was
day.
like 10 years ago? Oh, I thought it was like 10 years ago. Okay.
No, I saw something on Facebook where it was 23. I think it was
I
like
think
something
they-
January 23.
I think they changed the date a lot. Let's
It
have a
went-
look.
It's like
It went to
2020.
1995 or something, didn't it, at first?
No,
1990.
Back to the Future date. Okay, so
When
it
came
was
out.
okay.
Maybe someone had photoshopped it.
Yeah.
Anything's
in
possible.
Probably.
Future.
Everything is photoshopped these days. Let's face
Oh,
it.
okay. Back to the
To check
Future Day, October 1, 2023.
Oh.
But then there's some
Oh,
that say
yeah, 'cause someone was
2015.
Hang on, is
Wait.
it? But you might be reading it the Australian way, not the American way.
Yeah, wait. No, it was 2015. October 21st, 2015.
Yeah, because I saw something where it was like the 11th of January, 2023, but someone might have been reading it the Australian way and not the American way, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Be back.
I hate this whole day month.
And I think
thing
people Photoshop them a lot too.
Yeah.
And I think Photoshop. But yeah, so 2015, that was like 7 years ago. Where are our hoverboards?
Yeah, I
We
know,
still don't
right?
have, or flying cars. We don't have them yet. Okay.
Ripped off.
I know. Okay. What else did they have? They had a lot of cool stuff. Like we do have like
the,
TVs and fridges
like
and
the dehydrated pizza.
shit.
And it had a tiny little pizza thing where they put it in the oven and it's like a big pizza.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Was there
remember that.
something with clothes
Because
as
the pizza
well?
looks
Like,
gross.
was there something to do with cleaning clothes as well, or ironing clothes? Or am I just
I
making that up?
Or was it
Okay.
something to do with the jacket or something?
Yeah, it was like dry cleaning.
Oh,
but-
where the jacket just like dried, like where he fell into the water or something like that,
Yeah,
and
and
the
it dried
jacket dried
itself,
itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember something to do with clothes.
Where it had like a full,
We do have hoverboards.
and like it was all like EPC stuff, so it was all like continual like Siri kind of thing, where it's just like jacket is now dried.
Yeah. We do have the things called hoverboards, but they're not the same as the hoverboards in Back to the Future.
No, not the same, but like they're relative. They could kind
They
of.
have wheels. They don't hover.
One of the kids that live down the street. Wait, does it have wheels? I
It has
Probably.
wheels.
I don't know. I never really
They're not
looked at the
fine.
thing. The kid looks weird when he goes down the street.
Yeah. They have wheels. It's like a scooter, but it's going sideways.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm gonna find the right screen. There we go. Okay. Gone with the Wind. Yes, I've seen that.
I've never seen.
Not for a
this.
very long time, so I can barely remember it.
I think I only
I've
watched it
never
a couple
seen
years
this.
ago.
This is like way before my time, so I've.
Well, it's before all of our times.
Like my parents love old movies, so as a child I was put through old movies. And like when we had like the original like Optus Vision, like one of the things was like the old time movie channel. Guess what was mainly on? The old time movie channel. Thanks, Dad. So I got stuck watching all of these.
Yeah.
Actually, my favorite old school like black and white movie was actually the really old Pride and Prejudice that my dad made me watch, which is completely very the costumes in that Pride and Prejudice is like Gone with the Wind, not the actual costumes of the actual time.
Okay.
Okay. They didn't know.
it's
Oh.
no, they just did it wrong. Like it's the same kind of
didn't care.
storyline, but like really truncated, and like the period costumes are completely wrong.
Okay. I liked the really old Little Women.
Oh,
Okay. I can't remember which one it was because it's been made like 10 times.
yeah.
Okay, but it was definitely black and white. Okay.
Actually, I
so-
don't know if I've seen that one. The one that I remember the new one that came out with Hermione in it, and the one with Winona Ryder. I remember those two.
Yeah. I watched the one with the girl from Harry Potter. I only watched it like
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks ago, and I cried again when Beth died. I always cry
I
when Beth
know.
dies. It's like, come on. What's wrong with you? You know she's gonna die. Don't get attached. Number
Never
7.
seen it.
Star Wars Episode V. That's 5, isn't it?
This is the
The
one
Empire
that,
Strikes Back.
well, of the original trilogy, this is the one I like the least.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Mark
I
Hamill
definitely
is in
am
it
gonna
too.
have to watch these, but I never
Yeah,
seen
Mark
them.
Hamill is Luke. Mark Hamill
Oh,
is like
okay.
the main guy.
It shows I've never seen any of them. I told you this before. I saw the one that came out in like around the year 99, maybe. I saw
You
that
mean
one.
like episode 1?
Yeah, I saw like 5 minutes of that, and I walked out of the cinema because I was bored.
Oh, you gotta watch the original trilogy. Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
I like legitimately like I've been like brought up on these movies. These movies were like my childhood.
Okay, so the way you just reacted to me not seeing this and not knowing Mark Hamill was the main character is how I was reacting when you said that you asked for your fries without salt.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. I actually, but you know what? I actually don't like my fries with the Macca's salt
Yeah,
because it's too much for me.
but it's like I was actually having this conversation at work yesterday with someone, and I mentioned about this person. I'm like, there's this person who said that they don't want salt in their fries. I'm like, just say you're not allergic.
But it's just like I don't like salt on my fries.
Yeah,
I didn't
but like,
know
okay,
there was a whole allergic thing.
okay, because it takes 3 minutes 30 to cook fries. Okay,
Yep.
at McDonald's. Okay, now if you ask for it without salt, you'll go waiting like closer to 10 minutes, right?
I actually
Because-
don't wait that long.
Because they have to clean it all. They have to clean
Well,
the.
obviously
You know
not
where
at
they
the
pour the
McDonald's
fries
that I
in?
go to.
They have to. If you ask for without salt and
Yeah.
okay, and you don't tell them why,
Mm.
they assume you're allergic.
Mm.
So they have to clean it all, make sure all the salt's gone. Okay,
Yeah, I didn't know that.
and that salt, okay, it is so hard to get rid of. Okay, so they have to take the whole
I can
thing
imagine.
out the back and wash it up, and all the utensils, everything. Okay, so yeah, that's why I was
I
like,
don't know. Around here, they have
Just-
separate ones. They have the bin that has the no salt fries, and then the bin that has salted fries. So
well, that's smart, but nowhere around here has that. But yeah, I'm like, just say I just don't like salt, but you don't have to clean everything. Okay, and then you'll get your fries faster.
I don't get it that often. Does that make you feel better? It's a very
Yeah.
once in a while that I'd actually go get it.
I actually
Like
had
I go
McDonald's
like
yesterday,
every week.
and they didn't salt the fries correctly because I was making a video. So I made a video. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes me think of my.
And I had to go up to the manager and say, "Hey, you're not salting the fries correctly."
And I'd be like, excuse me.
I have a childhood memory of a family member that used to, well, when we were lucky enough to be brought to McDonald's or whatever. For us, it was luck because it was like, yay, McDonald's. But even if it's so bad for you, she had been diagnosed with like high blood pressure or whatever, so she couldn't have salt. So she'd get her French fries instead of not eating them at all. She'd just take the fries and wipe off the salt from each
Oh,
fry.
Oh no!
And still eat them, and then she still wondered why her blood pressure was up.
Oh no!
Oh,
oh,
I was
Yeah.
like, she's like, well, I don't get to have my fries anymore, you know. I'm
Like-
like, well, maybe it's not a good idea to eat them at all, you know.
no, but like the part of the
one.
story I was telling yesterday to like these guys at work was how much fun I would have when people would say they were allergic to stuff. Okay, because people would always say they're allergic to something when they don't want it. Okay, like they'd come through Macca's. I'm like, I wish I had a camera back then. Okay, just to get the reactions of these people. Okay, like people would come in and they'd ask for a Big Mac without pickles, and they say because I'm allergic.
Oh,
I'm like, okay, so you take the pickles off, but I'd also take the sauce off because there's pickles in the sauce.
I used to. You know what? You know how many times I'd ask for extra sauce and I would get no sauce, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell? I got a burger one time that didn't have the meat patty.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I didn't ask for
no.
anything different. And I
Yeah.
literally got a burger that had no meat, and I'm like, what
I
is
hope you brought that
this?
back.
I did.
I got
Yeah.
a burger that still had the cheese wrapped in the wrapper.
What?
Oh,
From
that's
Macca's?
bad.
That got brought back so fast.
From
Oh
McDonald's?
my god.
Yeah.
But
What,
we-
what do you
bad.
mean?
they
It
didn't
was
come-
wrapped in the
But cheese didn't come wrapped in wrappers. at
Theirs
McDonald's.
did.
They must have
guess
run
this
out
one did,
and
'cause
gone to the
this-
shop.
there was plastic, and I was like, I'm not eating this. I'm
You
not
know how,
eating
like,
this.
yeah.
You could have
They'd
gotten
come
a year's
in,
worth of free burgers after that.
They'd come
if you
in
went
like
to
blocks
the
about
company.
the width of maybe like 20 centimeters. So that what's that? 7 inches. Okay.
I don't know.
They'd come blocks that big, pre-sliced, but blocks that big. Okay. At least here. Okay.
And you just like peel them off.
Unless
Yeah,
the
and-
manager was desperate and they got a pack of singles. I don't know.
Yeah. We would do that sometimes. If we ran out of something and we couldn't get it from another store, we'd go to the shop and buy it. Like, I remember, like, once we didn't have any soft drink. Okay, the machines were broken, and you can't get that from another store because the machines were broken. So, the manager went down to, like, the supermarket and bought bottles of Coke and Fanta and Sprite. And
Oh,
we would pour
wow.
it into the cups, yeah.
Crazy.
Okay. So,
Empire Strikes Back.
yeah.
Is that the Ewok movie?
No, that's the next one.
Okay, because the Ewok movie, I liked it a lot. I mean, probably my age too. I liked it.
Yeah, the Ewok one is Return of the Jedi.
Return
Number
of the
6.
Jedi. Yeah, I liked it a lot. That one.
I wonder
Yeah,
if any
that's my
more
favourite.
Star Wars make this list.
Maybe.
Probably.
Jaws.
I don't remember this movie.
I remember
I'm
watching
sure
that
I've seen
on-
it.
Yeah.
Nobody remembers this, but maybe somebody does. I don't know. But before, okay, when they came out with, before they came out with VHS, they had beta. But in
Yeah.
between, they had these long, like they looked like albums, but they were probably half an inch thick, and they were square. And you'd slide them into the machine like this, and halfway through the movie, you'd have to pull it out, turn it over, and put it back in. And I don't remember what the name of that is, but at the movie store they had those. Yeah, and I still I'm like trying to find the name and remember what the name of them are, but nobody remembers
Oh,
them.
that's crazy.
That's this
I
movie
know
we
that,
watched on one of those. That one and I think it was
So I used to work for a TV
Fallujah.
network, okay, and I remember they had most of their videos that they kept the tapes of like all their shows and all that. Most of them were on beta. Okay, this is even like this millennium. Okay, but they did have some like, and it looked like a VHS tape, but it was longer,
oh,
about the same
okay.
width, but it was
Yeah.
longer.
I
Okay,
remember
so
those. Yeah, this
yeah.
one didn't have a ribbon in it though. It looked like a vinyl LP but square, but it was thick. And then
How weird.
yeah, and I've got to find out. I'm gonna find out what the name of that was, but it didn't last long. It wasn't a hit. Like they went over to beta and VHS quickly after that. But
yeah.
I don't know. I remember watching
grandparents had
Jaws
the-
on one of those things.
My dad's parents, they invested in the beta, in like, you know, like back when VHS and beta first came out, and people had to pick one. They picked Beta Vision. Okay, so all my childhood, when I was watching something
Video disc?
at their place, it was on beta. That's the only reason I even know it existed. I reckon.
I know it exists because
Was
I
it called
remember
video
them.
disc?
I don't remember what they're called, but
Video
if I can
disc.
find a picture of one, I'll show it to you.
Okay, I'll try to send it, because, 1 second. Copy.
This Squad Bob doesn't believe me. He's like, yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll send
I'm-
it to you, and then
Guarantee you it exists. Or it used to.
let me know if that's the thing you're talking about.
Okay.
Well, we're there. Number 5 is Pulp Fiction.
Pulp
I love this
Fiction,
movie, but I haven't
definitely
seen it in so long.
I can barely remember it, but I know I've seen it.
I do enjoy Quentin Tarantino movies. Like that in like Kill Bill. Love Kill
Yeah.
Bill.
I like
Except for the
what's the-
anime bit in the first one. It's the Lucy Liu anime bit.
I can't remember what it's called. There's like a World War II movie that he made.
Oh. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember its name.
Inglorious Bastards.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
There you go.
that I
that's-
really
I
like
know I've
that.
seen it, but I can't remember it like a lot of things.
It has Brad Pitt in it, I think. Brad Pitt.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it have George Clooney in it as well? No. Yes.
I'm not sure. I can't remember. It's been a few years.
Is that it?
That is it. Yep.
Haha.
Oh, do you want to share?
Good job. Yeah, I'm gonna save it and then I'll bring it up when I'm ready. You can keep going if you want. In the meantime.
The Godfather is number 4.
Seen
I've
it.
never seen this, but I want to see it. I just gotta be in the mood.
I haven't seen it in a really long time, and I've only seen the first one.
Wait, that is obviously the wrong cast.
Elijah Wood.
Ian McKellen. Like, Elijah Wood and Orlando Bloom probably
Yeah.
weren't even born in 72.
No, I think that's from Lord
It's
of
a
the
remake.
Rings.
Yeah.
Somebody made a mistake.
Oh, we've seen all the Brad Pitt movies.
Probably. Actually, there's a new one that just came out with Margot Robbie. I can't remember what the name is.
Oh, well, then I'll watch it.
It's out of the cinema. It just came out at the cinema.
Godfather was so long too. I think it was like 3 or 4 hours long.
3 hours.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
don't
able to
know,
see
I
it
didn't
through
get
it.
into it. I didn't get into it that much. It's not my kind of movie though, but so Ash did find what I'm talking about. If you guys want to see it, I have it for you.
Yeah?
All right.
Sure.
This device, we would rent it just like you would like a VHS from the movie store. Way back when you had to rent a machine with it. You'd rent the machine
Oh,
and
okay.
then the discs for the movie looked like that.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I've never seen
So
that.
it's like a giant floppy disk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I thank you for
Wow.
finding this, Ash. You're so much faster than me, but Squad Bob, it's not in my head.
Real thing.
I remember.
Oh,
So
I
that's
don't
what I
remember
watched
ever.
Jaws on. That's what we watched that on. And halfway
Yeah.
through the movie, it stops, and
You have
then
to
you
flip
have it. Yep, flip it
It was
over.
an intermission.
Yep.
but,
I think I remember having to flip it over. Anyways,
like,
that
I
would
don't
be-
even remember renting a machine.
Well, I guess that was dependent on if you had a VHS already when it first came out.
I can't remember when we got ours. It wouldn't have been until like the very late 80s or the early 90s. And then we got a CD player in. What year did Tragic Kingdom come out? 95? No doubt Tragic Kingdom.
I'm not good remembering years.
Yeah, so that, I think it was 94 or 95 that we got a CD player. Okay, so it was only a few years before that we got a VCR.
Yeah, I ended up getting a VCR later on, but the only thing we ever got that was brand new when it first came out was Nintendo. Anything else, we usually had to wait a year or whatever before we could have it. But
Yeah.
so those were like
Same, you had to wait for the price to come down. The
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
same thing now with like TVs. Okay, you never buy a TV when it first comes out.
No.
Wait like a year, and it'll be like half the price.
Exactly. I remember when 4K first came out and they were like 10 grand. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a few years. And then
Yeah.
it dropped significantly.
Mhm.
So Pulp Fiction, I never saw the full movie either.
I seen it. I
Haven't seen
liked it. It was good.
I honestly can't remember.
I didn't really
I think I
get
have.
into it. I think it's one of those movies that I kind of started
You have to
watching
be
and then I
involved.
stopped watching it. But
Oh, I'll tell you what else I like Quentin Tarantino. When he did Alias. He was on the show Alias. There you
yeah.
go. He just did. I think it was like 2 episodes. Okay, and that was really good. Okay.
Yes.
Oh
Oh,
crap!
back.
I skipped. Okay.
Episode
I did that by
4.
accident. Oh, I did it again. Okay.
Oh, all right. I have it. Okay, so I think
A New
it's just
Hope.
Mel and I that have seen this, right? And
Yep.
that's up here. Okay, so
Yeah, so this is the first movie.
yeah, you remember when they came out?
So the
and-
year's
and
wrong.
he's-
That year's wrong. I think it's 1977. Yes, I am that.
Yeah, I think
nerd.
I'm getting tired by this point. And not focusing so much.
No, it's okay. But they wrote it wrong up there. Definitely, Mel's right. But do you remember everybody was all wondering and asking George Lucas, why did you do episode 4 before episode 1? Why'd you call it episode 4 instead of just saying the first one? And he said, no, I'm going to do it backwards. You know, do you remember why he
Well,
said that?
yeah, I think he said something about like he didn't know whether he was going to make them all. So he'd already sort of had all of the story planned out.
Right.
And it's just number 4 was just sort of that middle point that he's just like, this would be like the best starting movie to make.
Okay.
And then he was able to make like 5 and 6, and then obviously able to go back. But sort of like, I think I remember him saying something like that he didn't know whether he
Yeah.
was going to make any more. So this is the one that he wanted to make.
If he'd just started with episode 1, would people have watched it?
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
so.
know.
Because
Well,
that's the
think
one I
something-
walked out of, isn't it? Episode 1.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they would
So
have
episode
had the same
episode
actors
one
if you did it
episode
back
one
then.
goes so episode 1 goes all the way back to the story of, you know, like the origins of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you don't already know who Darth Vader is, it's like what's going on? Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
you know.
that's what
Ash. Well, you know what? You're not the only one that hasn't seen it, anyways. Ash, it's all right.
I'm
There's
still
lots of
gonna heckle
classic-
you for not seeing it. I'm sorry.
It's just
You know what's funny
teasing
is
you.
I've never seen them, but I know certain quotes like "Luke, I am your father."
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
Well, there's other classic movies I haven't seen too. So, I mean, we all have our movies that we haven't. Or
I know it's just.
don't
I
wanna
think it's
watch.
just because it's just such like a nerdy movie that, you know, like nerds have seen this.
I mean, my
So it's like
my
weird when
husband's
people haven't.
family is very nerdy and they've seen it all. And every time we have a get together, they're like talking about it. And I'm sitting there at the table going,
Like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, but if you were never
too much
into
nerd talk. Too much nerd talk.
well, when it came out, it was like sci-fi, right? That was the
Yeah.
the new craze sci-fi.
It was a
like-
space opera.
Yeah.
That's
So,
how he describes it. Like a Wild West, but in space.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
I'm
I
gonna
forgot about that.
try. I guess I'm gonna try to watch it, but we'll see.
But I mean, for the people that
One
didn't
day.
want to watch it, it's probably because they always thought that they weren't interested in space type movies. You know what I mean? So
I love like sci-fi. Okay, I just never got around to it, I guess.
I guess it's one of those things that you either love it or you don't.
yeah,
Yeah.
Titanic.
Titanic.
Oh,
Yeah, I've seen
but-
this.
but nobody knew it was going to become so big. Anyways.
Yeah.
I
saw
remember this
twice
like
in
from
cinema.
being. So did I. Like I just remember being like so young and like everyone was just like in love with like Leonardo DiCaprio because he just
Yeah.
done like Romeo and Juliet and then
Yeah.
this came out. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah. Okay,
Was it
a girl
2
I
or
went to
3
school with
VHS
saw it.
tapes?
I think
What'd you
she
say,
got up
Ash?
to like 46 times at the cinema.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a bit much. It's like a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, I went with her twice. Okay, but that was enough for me.
2 or 3 VHS tapes for this?
It would have been
That
2.
was,
2?
I think it was.
Oh,
I don't know. I
depends on
saw it
how
in the
long-
movie, so I saw it.
I've
at the
seen it on
theater, so-
VHS, so I'm trying to remember if there was 2 tapes. Or
Most VHSs were like 90 minutes. So it would have been 2, I would think.
Mm.
I remember I had to change the tape. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
I was in charge of that.
Sorry, Ash. I was giggling at Scott Bob because
No, it's all good.
It was a pretty decent movie. But the ending sucked.
I cry every time. I can't help
But like,
it.
there's enough room for him on the door. Okay.
Yeah, but then like the buoyancy of it would go down, so the door would have ended up underwater, and then they both
There
would
was
have
enough
frozen.
room.
Do you think that
No,
this
right.
movie would have been so popular if it wasn't based on a true story, or?
I don't think it would have been as popular if it didn't have Leonardo DiCaprio in it.
Yeah, good point. I'm not a crazed fan over him though. Like, I respect him as an actor. I think he's an excellent actor and stuff. But
Well, the story of Jack and what was
he was
her
good in
character's
the
name?
Titanic, though.
Rose.
The story of Jack and Rose is completely made up. It's
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
the ship that's real.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. They had to
I don't know,
add
like-
that Hollywood style.
I guess we always knew from, like, because it's Titanic, that the ship was gonna sink. We always knew that from the beginning. Whereas if it wasn't the Titanic, if it was named something else, we wouldn't have known that. So maybe people.
Yeah, I guess it's because they put together this like epic love story like within like true events
Yeah.
that made it a little bit more like heartfelt kind of thing, like heart tugging. That they're like, oh well, this kind of story could have actually really been
Could've.
real, because
Yeah,
a lot
that's-
of families got separated because of the whole like lifeboat situation stuff, and the whole like rich and the poor, like it was pretty bad.
Yeah, I agree. I think the fact that it was based on a true story and people were probably imagining what they went through, that also was a big plus for this movie, like to entice people to go see it and stuff. So.
And yes,
I really liked it.
the Celine Dion song "My Heart Will Go On," like
Yeah.
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 even now.
Yeah, she makes people tear up. She
I'm
sings.
wondering now. I'm trying to do the math. Okay, how old do you reckon Rose was in 1912 when the Titanic set sail? I'm
Oh,
thinking
I think
20.
something that she. Yeah, I think that she was about 20 or something like that. I think
Okay,
it was
and then-
between like 19 to 21 or something like that.
Okay, and this is filmed in 97, so that would make
She was like 100.
over 100.
Yeah. I think they said something that she was like 100 or something.
Should be like 110.
Didn't they say she was 100?
They need to make this film a decade earlier.
I think it
Yeah.
was sweet. It was a sweet notion, though, the way
Yeah.
they did it.
I just love it. I just love at the end where she's like
Yeah.
the necklace. Just like, ploom.
She kept it all to herself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine hiding that from everyone for like
All
80
that
years?
time. Yeah. And the only way, that's the reason why she did the interview in the first place, because she wanted to be able to throw it back.
It's just like you go back into the sea.
Liked it.
And it's like that
Yes.
ending bit just always makes me cry, of where like Rose is reunited with Jack.
Yeah.
Every
Did you see
time.
that TikTok that someone did about in the pool, the Titanic?
Oh, yes.
No.
No? Oh, I've got to find it. Keep talking about this while I find
It's
it.
pretty funny.
Okay.
Are we allowed to watch TikTok on YouTube now?
Yeah,
or-
because it's only a minute. Okay.
It's only a minute.
So I'm going to mute myself while I find it because my keyboard's going to be loud. Keep talking about Titanic or whatever.
Squab Bob, you're making me laugh here. I don't know.
Potty.
All right, guys, I actually have to get going, so I've got to start getting ready for work. But this has been amazing, and I'm
This
sure
is-
that the last movie is fabulous.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's really cool. I'm glad that we had. I'm going to be going too pretty soon, but it's okay. We've done 2 hours. So
I have
far. It was
it.
really cool to have you here. Oh, do you have time for
Okay.
this?
I'll stay for this.
Okay, let me set. Okay, hopefully. I don't think you really need sound, but. Jack. 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 Can you hear it, or do you want me to narrate?
No.
Okay, she's just going, Jack, Jack, Jack.
I think you have to share audio before.
And now you've got Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On. The
Oh, they put sticks in the water. Look at that. Oh,
Yep. This is like full on.
That's it. Okay.
Alright, bye everyone.
That's cute.
Bye.
Bye, Mel.
Bye.
Until next time. Have a good day.
That's funny ass. Okay, sorry.
That was funny.
Okay, so we've got one movie left.
Alright.
I think I can guess what it is. What movie haven't we seen on this list that you think would be on the list?
We did Star Wars, we did Titanic, we did
What movie is on
Castaway.
every list?
every list.
No, it's not Castaway.
Is it? You mean recent or old school classic or?
It's an older movie. But it's not old. It's like within our lifetimes.
Is it something with? I'm thinking
Should I
Michael
just
Jackson's
show you?
Thriller, but that's a video.
Should I just show you?
Yeah.
Shawshank Redemption.
Oh yeah, I love that movie. I've watched it several
Yeah.
times actually
So have I.
since then.
I like it
Yeah,
too.
I really enjoyed it.
It's like,
Definitely a good movie.
I don't know why it's so good, but it's just good.
I know they just did such a great job on the story, like personalizing the stories and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how they it was sad
Right.
at moments though. I mean, you had every emotion involved in that movie.
Yeah. Just like
Emotion.
think of the premise, like guys in jail.
Mhm. And
Okay,
it wasn't
you-
even him, you know, like.
Yeah. No, but like, how do you sell that movie? Okay, without having like the cast and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He picked. Well, I guess he just had the right actors interested, and then he lucked out for that one.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had interviewed other actors before they went with Morgan and Tim
Yeah.
Robbins, but they were the
But you-
perfect guys to choose, though.
You'd think like in a pitch meeting when you're pitching ideas for movies to like
Mhm.
studios, they'd probably only get like 30 seconds or a minute.
Mhm.
And I just don't see how they could sell this movie to a studio before it's made in 30 seconds or a minute. But
I don't know. They
Yeah.
must have did a great job presenting it because
Yeah.
it caught the eye of these actors, and these actors were already very, very. Actually, in '94, those two actors were very, very popular, weren't they? So it's
Yeah.
like
yeah, I think so.
automatic.
Yeah.
That was like their high point at the
That's-
box office, anyway. So, but, loved it. Loved that movie.
It's a good movie. Yeah. I also have a list of like the 45 best Australian movies, and most of the movies on the list aren't Australian. They were just made here. I don't know.
Oh.
Do you really count them as Australian when it was just made here? Like, do you count movies made in Canada that don't have any Canadians on them as Canadian movies?
Well, I think it's different for our personal opinions versus what the Canada Film Board chooses. Whatever.
Yeah.
Canadian
yeah.
Film, Toronto Film Festival. They're the ones that
Yeah.
choose our popular movies and stuff. I think so.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
No, but like I'm thinking like there's a lot of American shows, like TV shows that are like filmed in like Vancouver or Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, there's lots.
Do you really think like do you think of Suits as an American show or a Canadian show? See, I think it's
still
American
an
because it's set in
American
New
show.
York. But that was filmed in Montreal.
For me,
No, in Toronto,
personally,
wasn't
It
it?
depends on the directors or the well, what's it?
The producer?
Yeah, the producer.
you mean
Depends
the
on
makers
if
of
it's
the
a
movie?
Canadian producer, then I consider it a Canadian show, even if it has American actors.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would tend to agree. But I mean,
I
whoever
don't know that
created the
producer.
movie, if he's Canadian, I would say that if the writer, the creators of the movie itself would be a Canadian-made movie, but if it's made in Canada, that's different. If it's not, you know what I mean? Like, I think they're
Yeah.
two separate categories, probably. That's probably why we have award shows.
Mm.
Separate categories.
Where's the list?
I
that
don't
I
know.
have?
It's a good question, though. What do you think for Australian-based
I don't
movies?
know. Like, I can kind of see the point. Like, if something's entirely made here,
Mhm.
like all the like camera people and all that were probably Australian. But were the but it might be set in America. I don't know.
Well,
Okay.
here for production sets, how they do it is like even if you have someone from the U.S. coming to film in Canada, a lot of the times the crew will be hired locally, but it's
Exactly.
still an American movie made here. You know what I mean? Like there's freelance cameramen that are hired to work on the project itself by contract. So,
Yeah.
but the movie itself, if it's created by an American, it would be American film.
So on this list, okay, the first couple, yeah, they're Australian. Okay. But like Happy Feet is number 4 on the list as the number 4 highest grossing Australian movie. Happy
Happy
Feet.
Feet.
Happy Feet. I remember that. I had that for
Yeah,
my
yeah.
child when she was
Okay.
younger. Yeah, it was a
What
cute
is it?
movie. I love
Peter
animated
Rabbit.
films.
Peter Rabbit and Peter Rabbit 2. Okay. They're not Australian. They were just filmed here.
Oh.
Okay. What's number 1?
Well, I used to
The rest
collect
are
on
more
VHS
Australian.
all
Mortal Kombat.
animated
Come
films.
on.
Mortal
Mortal Kombat. Do you really think Australia when you watch Mortal Kombat? Come on.
Good point. Yeah.
Okay. Like, I will give it like the Matrix credit. At least in the Matrix, you can see Sydney in the background. Okay, but you wouldn't know it's Sydney if you didn't live in Sydney. Okay, like I only knew because I
Yeah.
saw a specific bridge. I'm like, oh, that's the Anzac Bridge. Okay, because it's a weird, distinct shape. Okay, not the Harbour Bridge; it's a different bridge. Okay, and I'm like, if you didn't know about that bridge in Sydney, you wouldn't realise it's in Sydney. Yeah. But then I was watching the a bit of news from yesterday, and they had Ryan Gosling shut down the Sydney Harbour Bridge on Sunday to film the scene for his new movie, and he's going to be going across the Sydney Harbour Bridge on his movie. So that way, maybe is that now an Australian movie? Because now it's obviously in Australia. I don't know. Or is it
Yeah.
just going to be like maybe one scene in a whole movie where he's just in Australia for that scene? Like,
Would be interesting to see.
yeah.
I don't know when they come into our neighborhood with the big film crews and stuff, and they always end up offering. Well, not always, but I've seen it happen where they'll offer locals to become extras in the movie.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, they'll put an ad out and ask people if they'd be interested to be extras, just walking in the background or something.
Yeah. They don't
So
really advertise
they
it here
don't.
because they use the agencies. There's
They
enough
film
unemployed actors.
like they've filmed streets and houses. They've paid people that live in their houses to leave, paid their hotel and stuff in order to
Yeah.
use their home to film in. But that's
That's pretty
usually
cool.
they send out a scout first. But those
Yeah.
homes are only written in as credit, but they don't. But in the movie, like you said, it's not advertised as it was filmed in Canada. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they pretend it's somewhere else, but they just like the way it looks, so they use it and then pretend it's the outskirts of New York or something.
Yeah.
Somewhere, as an example.
I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
So I haven't seen this, but I'm sure Ash must know a little bit about that Walking Dead series. It was never really my kind of. I don't like zombie movies. I don't like
Yeah,
that.
I seen it. Yeah, it definitely had like a bunch of locals, and you can actually go and be an unpaid extra, or you could get paid. I don't remember
Unpaid. Who would do it for? Why would they offer it like that without? They always
If
offer
you're
a
a
little bit of payment
serious
here.
fan, there's a lot of people who are just, I'll do it for free. I just want to be in the movie.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, or in the show or whatever.
Well, the last couple of times that they've done it here, they've offered payments and stuff, but they were small. I mean, I can't
Yeah.
quote how much they got, but
Like I got a family member who was an extra in, I don't remember which movie, but he didn't get paid, but he was just an extra walking down the street.
that's pretty cool though. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun experience. If you ever have a chance to be on a movie set, I highly recommend it. I mean, if a movie crew comes to your town, then or your area, or whatever, it's a lot of fun to watch. We had Harrison Ford come and do Harrison Ford. Now I'm trying to remember the name of that movie. I'm terrible.
Yeah.
I didn't think to talk about this when we came on, so I didn't prepare it, but I didn't get to meet him or anything, but I remember they filmed at like 2 in the morning because I was working a late shift, and a coworker of mine and I saw all the trucks arrive into the town where we were working, and we followed them up, and they literally had all the security and everything, and the guy's like, yeah, this is the movie they're making, but it was all hush hush. No, it wasn't announced anywhere because they wanted to have peace and quiet when they were recording their movie scenes and stuff. So sometimes they do that. They'll sneak in your town, and then they'll film what they need to film, and then
Then
gone.
they're gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the times we don't even know that that's
No.
happening. Like, here they film a lot of movies, and then I'll be watching it, and I'll be like, I know where that is. I've been there. I
Mhm.
ate there. I live
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. I'd have to go back and look at all the ones I've seen so far, but
Sorry, I'm back.
yeah, cool. I think
Okay.
it's twice. Oh no, it wasn't Harrison Ford for that one. It was Richard Gere. That's what it was.
Okay.
It was Richard Gere. Harrison Ford was the other movie that I said Adeline, The Age of Adeline. I have a friend that's an actor in it. He
Well,
just had a small part there, but still a lot of fun to see him there.
I've seen Ryan. Well, I haven't seen Ryan Reynolds a bunch of times, but I've seen him once. But I know he's done a bunch of films around here.
Well, he
And
has
he's
a
got a
house.
house.
Yeah,
Yes.
he has a house.
He's got a
around
house near me.
It's kind of interesting though, like when you see the name of someone you know in like the credits of a movie, okay, or a
Yeah,
TV show.
yeah.
You're like, oh my god, and then you rewind it and play it in slow motion. Oh
Well,
look,
I went to
pause.
school with one of the stunt doubles for Resident Evil.
Oh, that's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
That's quite the job. I don't know. Whew.
Oh
Being a
yeah,
stunt double.
she worked hard.
Got to be in shape for that.
Her and her husband were both stunt doubles, so it was pretty
And have a lot of really good insurance too.
cool. Yeah.
Ooh,
I got to
man.
see certain things that you won't see in movie, like in the theaters or anything like that. That was pretty cool.
My sorry, my headphones are playing up. Okay, my aunt's ex-husband. Okay, he does like I don't know what's it called, set decorating, I guess, like prop placement and stuff like that. Okay, and just every so often I'll be watching, like, he's retired now, but every so often I'd be watching like a TV show or a movie that was made years ago, and I'll just see his name in the credits, and I'll be like, "Whoa, you worked on that? Cool." Okay. Like at first it was like just Australian stuff, but then I started seeing American stuff. I'm like, damn it, I wish we were closer, because he worked on like the show that I really love. Again, I'm like, could have stolen something for me.
Squabble Bomb.
Or put something, of mine on the set. How cool would that be?
Yeah. So Squall says his brother was in school with Julia Roberts.
Ooh, sweet.
Cool.
Sounds pretty damn cool.
I don't think I went to school with anyone famous.
Oh, they showed that movie in my high school. I remember all the seniors. I wasn't a senior when they showed it in the auditorium, but they showed it on a lunchtime afternoon or whatever. I think it was a carnival day, and you had choices to go to different places of the carnival for that day, and they showed Pretty Woman as the movie, and because of that scene when they get get
Yeah.
busy. You had all the senior guys in the back screaming, woohoo! You know, they're all like, woo! It sounded like an Arsenio Hall audience that time. Guys went crazy. All the girls were just like, here we go
Yeah.
again. I think it's because they showed her, you know, like, anyway.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I went to school with a boy that played soccer for
Jane.
Australia. I don't know if that
Oh, yeah?
counts though. Okay. He only played for
Yeah.
Australia like 5 times or something. But like I went all the way from kindergarten to like graduation with him. So I don't know, that counts the extra, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course it counts if you met like especially sports.
And
Sports is big in
a
Australia.
lot of people I went to a performing arts school.
Ooh,
So it's like a
finding
school
out
where
some interesting things about you, Crystal.
I was just a local. I wasn't a performing arts person. I was just lived in the local area.
Yeah.
Okay, but people came from other areas if they were interested in performing arts.
Well,
Okay,
that's
so a
pretty
lot of
cool.
the students actually did extras work, like work as extras while they were students. Like, if you watch any of like the Australian soaps from like back when I was in high school, I can pick someone out in pretty much every scene. Okay, like in the background saying, "Oh, yeah, she went to my school. She went to my school. He went to my school." That kind of thing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but none of them have actually, made it.
And I want to mention thank you, Squad Bob. I think I did. I did say thank you last time also for your donation. It helped me finally get my music stuff set up. And
Yeah, Robin's nearly there.
Mama's there. Mama's there. Thank you to people.
Getting there,
I'm gonna be.
getting there.
I still have to do that thank you video that I want to do for all the people that donated to my PayPal to help me out with that. So I really appreciate that. And I want to name someone else, but I'm not sure if I can. You mind?
Go ahead.
Crystal donated too, and Ash has been helping me out too, and Ash also. So
I think you should think of it more of a. Do you know which day you received it?
I'm gonna go back and get everybody's.
No, I'm asking because that day was Christmas Day, so think of it more of a Christmas present.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. It's been a long road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna figure something out for that.
Squall Bob also knows the golf pro Tom Gillis, okay, from the Experts
Oh,
show the other day. Okay. Yeah, never spoken to the guy, but he reacted to one of my videos. There we go.
Oh.
I want to react to that reaction. But I think that's getting a bit too into the weeds.
React to the reaction of the reaction.
Yeah. Because Diva said something, Dictionary Diva said something like, they were talking about New York. And the expert says, oh, I don't think New York's real, whatever. And Dictionary Diva goes, my mum got mugged on the subway.
Oh.
And Tom's talking about Saudi Arabia. And he
Oh,
goes,
Lord,
your mum
there's
got
like two different subjects
mugged
going
on the
on.
subway in Saudi Arabia? And she's like, no, New York. I'm like, my reaction is, wait, are women even allowed on the subway in Saudi Arabia? Okay. But, yeah. That's what I wanted. That's my whole reaction. I don't have any more than that, but I wanted to do that. I was thinking of like making a little video and just putting up little air quotes.
Well, yeah, because you're fantastic about making your clips and stuff. I really enjoyed that
I
one you
just
did,
think
and
more people to watch them.
that's why they're watching it for sure. Because it's not just the content, but it's also the way you put it together and the colors you've chosen and all of the sayings that you pop up and everything. It's all perfectly timed out. So that's why I have a lot of work to do with learning about how to edit things in properly and stuff and keep people interested.
You know what I do? It's a real big cheat. Okay, I look at the volume bar, and anywhere where it's flat, cut. That's pretty much all I do.
Hopefully this week I'll be able to just be able to use an editing program in the first place.
Yeah.
Long road. Like I
But maybe like once you get one, we'll do like a walkthrough. Like we'll go on to like a video sharing thing, and I'll walk you through. Okay, but yeah, that's pretty much all I do. Is I like the actual clips. I just go in and I focus on the sound bar, and just cut out every silence of like more than a second. And then but sometimes it does make some rough cuts.
Squad Bob, you're making me laugh in the middle. I'm trying to listen to Crystal. Stop it. It's just to make sure you know Crystal wasn't laughing at you. Just saw his comment. That's fine.
No, I sort of do.
Yeah, but you do. Yeah, I have a lot to learn for the editing side of things. And it's for me, it's tedious and long. And I know if you enjoy it, it goes faster and you have a lot of fun with it. But when you see after what you've done,
Yeah.
I guess the hours put in are worth it, right?
Yeah.
Because
Sometimes you
has a
watch
good
it back and you're like, that looks so rough. Like sometimes you can't tell. Like the person will be in the exact same position, and they finish a sentence and then they start. So you can't tell that I've cut it.
Oh.
But then other times they'll be like over here and talking, and then I've cut it, and then suddenly they're over here. Okay, and it's like I need to like fade that or something.
Or you can have one of those swipe things like whoosh.
Yeah, but that's usually where I put in one of those transition things where it's a different color and stuff like that, because it was too rough a cut.
I kind of like Canva. I might end up trying to use that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But,
I don't like it by itself.
no.
Like it's not good for cutting out clips and stuff like that.
Well, for music videos, I kind of need to have a bigger program, I guess. But for the thumbnails and stuff, I really like it. It's using.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good for the visuals, not for the rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan Reynolds for me.
Okay. I was about to say Hugh Jackman's calling. Okay.
Ryan Reynolds, Paul Rudd.
Popular actors we know that we've mentioned them a few times today. So, but this was fun. There was a lot of good movies that we had. Some of them I had actually forgotten about too. So.
Oh, bee! I thought it was a fly. It was a bee.
Oh, good lord! Clipped. We almost got through it. It's like me every time I'm on a live stream or whatever with you ladies. You know what happens? There's like this tiny fruit fly that ends up like coming right up in front of me. And every time I go to speak, it's like I don't want to breathe
It's
it
right
in. So
there.
I'm like, yeah.
So I don't
Nowhere
have a
to be
dog
found
to
in the
step.
house until I get on the stream. So.
I don't have a dog to step on this. Okay, so.
My dog.
Oh goodness, you're not. My dog stepped on a bee. Again from the trial. You're not allergic to bee stings, though, are you?
No, but I don't want one.
No, I know. It would have been an EpiPen situation, though. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. Sorry,
Instead of a
Cinderella.
Calamine lotion, it would be an EpiPen.
Okay.
Well, this
Okay.
has been a fun stream. Really,
Oh,
having
yeah.
fun with you ladies. So,
It's always fun.
thank you everybody that stopped in to chat a little with us. All the dedicated chatters and people that we love to see and talk to, and hopefully, we're currently discussing a regular streaming time so that we can be on more often.
Sorry, could hold
Her and her bee and me and my fruit fly. And hopefully the flies and bees will leave us alone next time in our stream. If we hear a scream, we know what happened. It means we have to send her calamine lotion. You wanna say goodbye and end it and sign off, Crystal?
Bye. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank
See
you
you
all
next
for
time.
being here.
Oh.